Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We are Rumble Pop. Look at that. Look at that right by Sammy's head. Rumble Pop logo over there. The nice yellow can of soda spilling out all over inside of her room. It's terrible. But yeah, we're Rumble Pop. I'm going to do some stuff in the background, and Kevin's going to do the introduction. So Kevin, take it away.
Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of you in the 24 time zones on planet Earth. Welcome to the most spectacular, most righteous, and most powerful Jedi show on YouTube, Rumble. And now I'm going to introduce to you my co-host and co-conspirators for the evening. First, the man to my left. He is a madman from the great state of Ohio. He is Bruce Campbell's number 2 fan. He is DC Comics for life. And if you have a problem with it, he just might pop you in the mouth. He was the 2000 Kent State University's Mr. Beefcake. And for some strange reason, he was voted the second best looking man of North Hollywood, California for the year 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the executive producer and co-founder of Rumble Spoon Productions. He is always socially lubricated. He is the original Dog!
Thank you. I love you all.
I think that intro needs to be fact-checked.
Next, we're going to a young lady who is a native of the great city of Los Angeles, California. She is a young woman of high class, of high sophistication. She is a freelance rock and roll photographer. She is one of the great Hufflepuffs in the world today. She knows Harry Potter inside and out. She is a great fan of Hermione. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up again for a co-host who's been on the show many times. Give it up for the savvy and sensational Miss Sammy Barrow.
Wow.
Thank you. Also, quiet, Donald.
Next,
huh?
we're going to the Central Time Zone. We're going to have beautiful central state of Oklahoma. We're going to go to a special, talented man. A man who represents that great city of Tulsa. He was one of the greatest arc light talents of all time. He is an excellent filmmaker, an actor extraordinaire. He is also a winning actor extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to, once again, the Oklahoma heartthrob, the full Monty Hunter. And last, but certainly not least, a man who joined us for the very first episode of Rumble Pop back in January of this year, in this great year of 2023. He is a true man of the cloth. A man who grew up on the hard streets of Burbank, California. He is one of the greatest academic students to grace the halls of Cal State Northridge University. He was voted the 2021 sexiest husband of the Santa Clarita Valley. He owns and operates a top 10 comic book store in this great golden state of California. Ladies and gentlemen, this man delivers the figure 4 in customer service. He is, to you, the Duke of Newhall, California. He is Darth Julio Galvin.
My wife is talking in the background, putting her finger in her mouth right now. Stop.
That's crazy. 21 years of a beautiful marriage. I find that hard to believe, sir.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I find it hilarious.
I am...
It makes me like her.
And of course, I am your humble podcaster, the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan Arts, your Supreme Chancellor, Brother Kevin. Tonight, brothers and sisters of YouTube land, we are going to dive deep. We're going to rank all 11 Star Wars movies.
I thought it was the Leprechaun
Yeah.
films.
No, that'll be in October.
Dude, that would be good.
All right.
Leprechaun
Oh
in
hell
the Hood.
no. Oh hell no.
Well, Leprechaun in Space is actually a lot of fun, but also I actually like
I've
Leprechaun.
only ever seen the first one.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I just gotta watch them all.
Oh, okay. You got a ticket. He goes to Las
I'm
Vegas.
excited about it.
He goes to the Hood. He goes into outer space.
I need to watch the child.
Yes,
He goes to the hood twice.
Oh, that's right.
Twice.
That's right. That's true. He's in the Hood twice. That's true.
Both times he got lost. He just went too far on Crenshaw, and yes,
Well-
trouble from there.
All I know is anyone who took his shillings received a killing. That's all I know.
Shilling and killing.
Yep.
Give
It
me my
wasn't good.
shilling, or you shall get a killing, or something like that.
Yes,
Or
yes.
there'll be a killing.
Yes, I
That
mean,
is what he
his
said.
Hey,
limericks.
Leprechaun 1 gave Jennifer Aniston her career.
That's true
Oh, yeah.
because she would never be on Friends without it.
Right, because when they
True.
were casting her for Friends, they watched Leprechaun.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah,
I think so.
that makes perfect sense.
Think about it. Courtney Cox was in a Bruce Springsteen music video, and I'm sure it helped her too to get a role
I
on
believed
Friends.
it. I believed it. I totally thought Bruce was that cool that he would pull Courtney out of the audience. I believed it, all of
Who
it.
was what's her name?
It worked.
Was it Jessica Chastain? Just Jessica Chastain?
Yeah. What about her?
What was she?
Yeah.
She was in a music video, right? That's where she got her start.
I gotta think about it.
What?
Which one
Was she?
been in?
Yeah.
Wait.
I think was that Jessica Chastain, or am I thinking somebody else? I think it's somebody else. I'm thinking about the girl from Firefly,
I
the
don't
redhead.
think so.
Oh, Jessica Chastain. I'd pull her out of a crowd.
Yeah, the redhead from Firefly. You know who I'm talking about? She was also in Mad Men.
Oh, Christina Hendricks?
yeah,
Christina
Christina
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
That's
Oh,
right.
Christina
She-
Hendricks.
I think
Oh.
she was in an Everclear song. That's how she got her
Oh.
start. I think it was So
might
Much
be
for the
right.
Afterglow, or what is that? Santa Monica. Might have been Santa Monica, but I think
I saw her in
Ew.
the Arroyo Festival. She was at a concert. She was like sitting right next to us, and I was worried about her if she had like enough sunblock on, because she's really white,
yeah, she's
very
very
white.
Really pale.
So concerned
And a
I wanted
ginger.
to put her in a sprayer,
Which is
Yeah,
which would have been
like the sun just
mm-hmm.
will.
It's true.
It's like a magnet.
Everybody, my mom and dad are here. Everybody say hi to my mom and dad.
Hello, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
Hi, mom and dad. Thank you for
Kitty.
joining.
Mom and Dad.
Enrique is on. He says, "Hola, what'd you call me?" He called us Todos.
Todos.
Todos. What the fuck? Kind of
Did he say
what
total?
kind of
No, he
comment
said
is that?
Spanish. He said Spanish, my friend.
Oh,
Hello, all.
okay.
Hola a todos.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I'll
Misunderstood.
allow it. I'll allow it. Good to see you, Enrique. Maria says, howdy, everyone. Hello, Maria.
Hello.
Gerald's here. Hello,
Yeah.
Gerald.
What's up, Gerald?
Ivan's Collectibles says, I made it. Thanks
Hello,
for joining.
Ivan's Collectibles.
Ivan's Collectibles.
Hmm.
Thank you for joining.
The reflection of my sunglasses.
All right.
I gotta
And
wear them though.
We're talking about Star Wars today, right? We're
Yes.
ranking Star Wars films. Geez, guys. Star Wars films, a bit hit or miss, I will say. And we can say that now fully with the Disney Plus series is also
Pew, pew.
a bit hit and miss.
Up and down, up
yeah,
and down.
Yeah, particularly the season of The Mandalorian
Yeah.
that I'm still watching, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's up and down.
Hey,
Man, I watched this one episode. It was so stupid.
Is it the one with a
Which
certain
one?
two,
Which
certain
one?
two
Which one?
characters?
It was a one-off with Jack Black.
I was
and
just about to say
Lizzo.
that. Yeah, about to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that,
I was
that's
like, why
it's
am I
weird. It's
watching
weird.
this?
It's weird.
Hey.
I don't know why
Yeah.
that's there.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it just it's like,
it was good. It doesn't have to be.
Sammy, you just
No.
like anything.
But I have to disagree, though. You have 8 precious episodes to tell a story. You got to be careful.
I'm
Yeah, don't
not
phone
a
it in.
cynic like you, Donald.
And that was Bryce Dallas Howard that directed that one too.
Really?
Yeah, she
Oh.
directed the
Well,
shit
I
out
mean,
of it.
that-
Or directed.
Okay, so let me talk
Shit
about that
into
episode for a second. That they recapped it, at the start of the next episode, and they only showed the Bo-Katan part at the very end. They never went flashback to anything that had to do
No.
with Jack Black or what's the girl's name?
Lizzo.
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 It's about time. Yeah, they never should do that again.
Nope. But Maria made a very astute observation. She said that well, they got to sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, like I think they're gonna sing. I mean, it's Jack Black and Lizzo. I mean, why aren't they singing? And then you get through the whole thing and there's no singing. And I was like, this
Right.
is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like no telekinesis from Kyle. Kyle wasn't even there.
That's true.
Just
Yeah.
stupid. Just stupid. That episode was dumb, Sammy. Don't just
It
apologize
was not
for your.
dumb. It may
for
not
your
have been
opinion.
crucial to the
You should
storyline, but it
apologize
was
to everybody
still
for your opinion.
enjoyable. I think
Apologize
you
for her
should
opinion.
apologize for
Yes,
your face.
absolutely. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry, my face is too
Apologize for
beautiful.
your face and your entire being.
Sometimes it's blinding.
Your mere presence is offensive to me.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Oh boy.
That's
wow.
serious. That's pretty serious.
Ooh.
Good
I'm
lord.
gonna, I'm gonna hit you with my fan again, Donald.
Oh, well, there we go. That's the end of Sammy. I just took her off the screen. How about that?
Miss
So,
McKinney,
let-
your
let-
son
let
is
me-
a bully.
Let me ask you guys something real
Sure.
quick. Who is your favorite Star Wars character? So let's start with Sammy. Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
I would say my favorite is Leia.
Okay. That's
I mean, I've always loved her because it's like she's the one person. She's one of the. Even though yes, the guys are tough and everything, but in that first movie, Leia is just.
Oh, and that one movie
Well,
where
even
she
though they're
Mary
like, we're
Poppins
rescuing
the
her,
shit out of space.
And he's talking. And he's talking.
Oh yeah,
and
well,
he's
yeah,
talking.
we'll get to that.
Yeah, Leia's your favorite. I
Hey.
get it. Mary Poppins.
Hey, Dwayne.
Mary Poppins.
Silence. No, I mean she's the one who's like, someone's got to save our skins, and the whole like, aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper? And she's this girl who grew up in this adoptive family, but decided to be, a senator, and just she was also a badass and could fight and could defend herself. She didn't need them to be quite like fair. She didn't need them. They
She
helped
could
get her
hold-
out a little bit.
Yeah, she can hold her own,
But, like-
no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
She was also like she was like good with strategy and
She had that
the military
costume
planning part of it.
With Jabba put her in.
Oh yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. She's very
Yep.
famous.
Yeah, Donald.
Yep.
She also strangled Jabba with that costume. So keep
that's
that in
true.
mind.
That
Not
is
with
true.
the costume, with the chain that she was chained.
Chain's
with.
part of the costume.
Was it,
Chain's
you
part of
think?
the costume.
I don't know if the chain's part
Yeah.
of the costume or not.
Yes. Okay. And also, even as she got older, she was General Organa. It's like she was amazing. And Carrie Fisher is Space Mom, always and forever. Because
Gerald says
He was
Kit Fisto is my favorite character.
okay,
That's
Okay.
the green tall jive
it's one of the
character
Jedi.
with the
One
long
of the Jedi.
long braids. Like best guy to describe him.
Like
He
the
was in
tendrils
Attack of
that
the
come- yeah.
Clones where they're fighting out in the field. He's also one of the guys who caught it from Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith.
You know what?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing I can
Yeah.
think of is that He-Man character named Fisto.
Oh yes.
I bet you that's his favorite character in He-Man too. I
Yeah,
bet he
it's
just
possible.
I bet
likes
it's
Possible.
Fistos.
Possible.
It's those your favorite character.
Gerald's
Any
like,
character named Fisto.
right, I'm all in on Fistos.
Donald McKinney, mental age of 12.
I know. Okay, so who else has to name their favorite?
Julio, who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Yeah,
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan
Okay.
is my favorite. Yeah.
solid choice.
Yeah, I mean, ever
What's your
since
favorite?
like the first movie, I always wondered. It was a big giant mystery with his character that I just wanted. Like, this guy's been through everything. He's so confident. He was like Lenny in Law and Order. It's seen it all. He made jokes about everything, and you wanted to know where that confidence came from. I don't know if they did a very good job with the Obi-Wan movie, but I was always intrigued, and I thought Ewan McGregor was fantastic.
Yeah,
at
and
He
of
was
course
a great
Alec Guinness.
Obi-Wan.
And of course Alec Guinness is awesome.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, totally. Yeah, so
Monty?
good.
What about you, Monty?
As I mentioned before we went live, Vader
Vader.
forever.
Vader and Anakin Skywalker, or just Vader?
I don't know. That's actually a good
Just
question.
Vader.
Uh,
Vader's the
I would
correct
say
answer.
just the Vader parts, because that's what I grew up with initially.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing too. I don't know. Vader's just always been my dude. And I remember going to see Rogue One, and that last like few minutes when Vader boards the rebel ship,
Yeah.
It's like
I misremember the entire audience was like, "Holy shit!"
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was like him at just like the apex of his abilities that had never really been shown in any of the other movies. But anyway, and that sealed it for
We've
me.
been waiting for years for that moment.
I'm gonna look up Kit Fisto because I have no idea who that
Yeah, have you
is.
seen a picture? You see what he looks like.
He's the green dude. It's like he's
I
got
know
like
Greedo or whatever his name is.
alien Rastafarian.
Well, you know it's
oh my
funny.
god, Donald.
Greedo-
There is such a big difference.
They're both have that green face. Who's your favorite, Donald? Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
It's Darth Maul.
Oh, okay, that's a good choice.
Oh, it's this dude. Why?
What do you look? Look,
What's
nice
wrong
smile.
with
Look, this is the worst picture of this guy too.
Well, let me see.
He's got like buck teeth. How can he be cross-eyed
better.
when his eyes aren't even real, but he looks cross-eyed?
Are you hating?
Yeah.
They did the,
Are you
it's
hating
the way
on
they
his
did
choice?
The character in the
Kid
movie.
Fisto.
I'm just wondering why. Did
He
this
can
dude
breathe
do
underwater.
Yeah, he did. In Attack
Yeah.
of the Clones, when they were in that stadium, he took care of business. And then, unfortunately, when there was a 4-1 battle with him, and
Order
Mace
66.
Windu,
Did he die in Order 66?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he went out like
he
a
was
bit.
he was the last person to get killed by Palpatine before he just took on Mace Windu when they were in the office.
Well,
Yeah, but it took
well.
like 1 second to take him away.
J.R. Ainsworth is in the house.
Ah, Chewbacca is his
J.R..
favorite. That's his favorite character.
No, he's just saying that's his ex.
No. Oh, wow.
They used to date.
Wow,
What?
that's
No.
disturbing.
Yes.
That's messed
yes.
up.
No, because you ever
You
see
would
him?
never have broken up with Chewbacca.
You ever seen JR when he's half asleep? He'll speak Chewy. He'll like that and shit. Yeah.
I mean, Donald, like I feel like I do that sometimes when I yawn. You're just kind of like, it happens.
that is not how anybody yawns, except for
Wookiee
JR.
sounds. Like when I get up in the morning and I'm kind of stretching and you just like, it's chewy.
You
There's a little,
feel a bit
there's a
chewy,
little
huh?
Wookiee in all of
When you
us.
wake up in the morning, you feel a bit chewy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
How
I'm
is
just
that fun?
asking. I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
you
making
said
it
it
up.
though. You said it. It came out of your mouth.
Making it
Yep,
up.
it's true. So let me talk
No.
about something really quickly before we get moving on with the
Oh, wait.
rankings.
I never told my favorite character.
Oh, son of a bitch. Who cares?
Yoda. Master Yoda.
It's not Yoda.
Aw.
That's
Master
can't
a
be
Yoda is my
Yoda.
favorite. Why can't be Yoda?
It's
Oh, it's supposed to be. Oh, I see. It's supposed to be Mace Windu, huh?
No.
Oh.
No,
You have
it's
to
supposed
say
to
it
be
as
Finn.
you.
Oh, that's right. Favorite? He
Finn.
is.
There you go. Yoda favorite he is. Yeah, it's definitely not John Boyega, although this is
Finn.
basically John.
You know,
Boyega.
had they done Finn justice, maybe
Hey,
Finn would be
what-
one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, but he
What's
like
wrong
bitched
with
out.
Finn?
He
Nothing's
went to
wrong
Planet
with Finn.
Bitch.
He
That's
just
where he
gotta-
went.
It's not his fault.
I know it's not his fault.
That's rude.
He was angry at it too.
He was.
That's,
Well, if
No.
I know it's
exactly,
rude, ask
that's fine.
Kathleen Kennedy how rude it is.
Yep.
I don't want to
Yep.
talk to her ever. I would be fine not
I
talking
don't
to
think
her.
anybody does. All right, so
No, I would take a job in a heartbeat if she gave it to me.
it's true.
I
we all
would sell out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Nope.
so.
I'm
So
the only one telling the truth here.
I'm going to talk about some books, some
Okay.
comics that came out recently within the last couple weeks that I've read that I'll either recommend or do not recommend. So this is the little segment, the little comic book segment that I do. So, first up, Ghost Lore, #1, Colin Bunn written. This is the Colin Bunn I remember. Now, remember when Colin Bunn was writing stuff and people were like, wow, this is really good. I remember
No.
Colin Bunn before that when he was writing Hot Trash for DC, and I was like, how's this guy, he must have like the thickest knee pads, because I don't know how this motherfucker still has a job, right? That was like my thoughts on Colin Bunn. And then he started writing really well, like independent horrors and stuff, and I was like, wow, like this is, apparently that was where he needed to be. Well, I think he's actually now turning back into shit bun. Because this is trash. This story is awful. And I don't recommend it to anybody. Ghost Lore, more like Ghost Bore. You just fall asleep on that one. Let it go, let it go. That
It'd
one's
be more
terrible.
interesting if it was Ghost 4.
Yeah, it actually would.
There you go.
Another one called Survival. Now, Survival is, I'm not sure what to think of this one. It's written by Sean Lewis. And Survival's about paramilitary vampires. So basically, like, military have decided to use vampires
So
to
vampires
wage
with, like,
war.
with like AK-47s.
So, like, the Russians drop off a ship, or like a plane crashes filled with Russian vampires
So
in
vampires
Alaska.
Okay.
are throwing RPGs or launching RPGs.
It seems very self-serving, and it seems like the writer of this wants to tell you that he was either in the military or he loves the military. So I'm really on the fence on this
Don't
one.
you love the military?
It's not. I mean, not that much. I don't
He
want to
loves
write about it.
uniforms.
So I'm not a big fan of war, Kevin, in general. So, like,
Well, Monty is.
so Survival, and on the fence. This one was great. Highly recommend this one. Dawn of DC Titans #1. This one was actually a lot of fun. So if you get a chance to read this one, written by none other than Tom Taylor, the guy is still on a streak. From Injustice to Nightwing, now to this. Highly recommend Titans #1. Check it out at your local comic shop or at We Can Be Heroes comic shop in Chatsworth, California. This one was all right. King of Kong. I'm getting into it. The Great War. It was very short though, so I like to see where this one's going to go from there. But so far so good on this one, and fantastic cover by Jay Lee, by the way. And then last but not least, I can't talk about this one enough. This was the last part of the first story. I imagine another 4-parters coming soon. This is called Where Monsters Lie. This is basically what if there was a community up in Santa Clarita near Julio where it was all filled with serial killers.
Wow.
And they were hiding out until they planned their next serial killing. And then after they were done, they would go back and live in this community. This is all about what if somebody from that community messes up and a kid escapes. And that's where we get Where Monsters Lie. This is part 4. Great ending to it, and also a great beginning to it. So we're going to see more of this for sure, but I can't recommend this enough. And that's it. That's my segment. That's my books.
Nice.
That's the recommendations. Yay.
Hey, can you talk about the zebra's ass behind us?
Yeah. Yeah, there is a zebra's ass right behind Kevin. Looks like it's going to be farting in your ear.
Yeah.
Can you hear a little Rudy toot toot?
You know, worse things have happened. Don't worry. Worse things have happened.
That's true. That's true. I've seen it happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely worse things have happened. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Tracy is on. Hello,
Hey,
Tracy. Tracy goes, yes. You're talking about Titans, aren't you, Tracy? I know you're talking about Titans.
Which Titans?
Titans, the comic.
Oh.
She's talking about that.
Oh, yes.
JR says CVO is better vampires. CVO? What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah, and then she was talking about that. Okay, so let's get started on the rankings. Yeah, guys?
All 11 movies.
We're going to start at number 11. Now, I really didn't want it to be this film. I pushed hard for it not to be this film, actually, because I feel like there's another film in there
That's worse.
that's probably worse, but we're giving it a pass because of sentimentality, and it's been out for much longer. So, there's 11 films out for Star Wars currently.
Yes.
And on our list at number 11 is none other than... Kevin, I know you want to say it. Go ahead.
Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Meh.
Yeah, The Last Jedi. So, besides the blue titty milk from the aliens, what just kind of turned you off about this film?
The anticipation of seeing the full power and wisdom of an older Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. And the fact that we didn't get to see that, the fact that the way his character, quote unquote, developed over the last 30-something years didn't make any sense to me. So when they showed that flashback scene, for example, of, you know, he senses that Ben Solo, who's going to later become Kylo Ren, might turn to the dark side of the Force, he's about to kill him. He was thinking about, I gotta kill him. He has the lightsaber, he's about to take him out. And I'm like, why? Your father, Darth Vader, was far, far worse. Kill was a mass murderer, and yet you had love in your heart to give him a chance. When you found out that it was his father, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna try to save my dad.
Right.
Your nephew, just at the time, had the possibility of becoming a crazy, you know, dark side user, mass murderer, whatever the case may be. And yet, where was the ability for you to say, you know what? I'm gonna work with you. I'm gonna make sure my nephew doesn't end up like his grandfather or like my father.
Right.
So I don't see the logic in that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why you just gave up right away. And then just in general, when the whole original with that new Jedi Academy, we don't know all the story behind it. It gets burnt down the ground in flashbacks. He's given up. He sends himself to that deserted planet island of Ahch-To, just ready to just sit there and die. I'm like, really? That's not the Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is always hopeful. Luke Skywalker is always optimistic. He's been through a lot. So why would he all of a sudden feel like, all right, this is it. I'm done. If anything, I originally thought he was going there to gain knowledge to take on Snoke. That would have made sense. You go into the original Jedi Temple that would have all those ancient books.
Don't even get started on Snoke.
I know that. Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
That was great.
The best worst villain Star Wars had. I think.
Worst film.
And Gerald,
Awful.
I somewhat agree with you because interesting enough, that's my second worst film, The Rise of Skywalker, after Last Jedi. They both are terrible for me. But
Now, Gerald, I did have the Clone Wars as my least favorite. I thought The Last Jedi was appalling, but not as awful as the Clone Wars. I rewatched it, the Clone one, and oof. Or I think it was called The Attack of the Clones, right? Wasn't it called
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones,
Attack-
yeah.
I thought you
Attack
were
of the
talking
Clones.
about the show.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
Yeah.
that's not part of
Yeah,
it.
No,
yeah. I
maybe
think the
Attack of
show.
the
I think the
Clones.
show.
Yeah, I
had
think
that
Gerald
movie.
means Attack of the Clones, and he's saying Clone
Attack of
Wars.
the Clones, yeah.
But yeah, like Attack of the Clones is not by any means a good movie. It's a very boring film, actually. It's
Half of it
it's
is.
90% boring. 90%. There's 10. Like it's more boring than the Phantom Menace, and the Phantom Menace only has one redeeming factor of the whole damn film.
Well, Duel of the Fates, of course.
Yeah.
There was, you know what's funny about Attack of the Clones is somebody wrote, and it's absolutely true, like a review of, and they're like, basically, Anakin spends 90% of the movie pining after Padme, right?
Mhm.
And she's kind of blowing him off. She's friend zoned until after he kills an entire village of sand people.
Yeah.
So this
Right.
person wrote, it's all like, apparently that was the thing, the killing, the massacring the village of sand people. Padme really likes the bad boys, apparently.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she didn't have any interest before that.
Right.
Yep.
Just saying.
Just stay away from
Yeah.
Skywalkers. That's just the way you just need to stay away. And there was a big debate a
Red
buddy of
flag.
mine put up on his Facebook where he was like, so Kylo Ren's real name is Ben.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's not his real name. His real name is Obi-Wan. You know, and he's like, well, why would Leia and Solo and Han have a child and name that child after somebody they've barely even met like more than a second, which is Ben
Well-
Kenobi, and then he's like, well, why would he
They,
name him the
they
wrong
knew
name?
him for a day, and then he got freaking
He sacrificed
shanked.
himself. He sacrificed
basically.
himself for them.
Right.
So
Yep.
that's probably wise. Yeah, you
But
know
Donald's right. They only knew the guy for a few hours, basically.
But they
I don't
heard all
know.
the songs and haikus.
Naming a child
and
after
everything.
somebody that you barely
You
know.
think, you think there's
Ben
haikus?
is a beautiful name.
It rolls off the
Haikus about
tongue.
Ben.
No, nobody Obi-Wan, you know. Then it would know. Like
Noble
Old Ben.
name.
They used to call him Old Ben, so I was like, well, Ben.
Yeah.
You know that works,
Mhm.
right?
Well, plus you have to
Old Ben.
remember, he couldn't say he was Obi-Wan Kenobi for obvious reasons, because, you
No.
know, Empire would have like, oh, there's an Obi-Wan here, huh?
Yeah.
So he had to,
He,
you know,
he had
change
to
his
go by
identity.
Ben Kenobi, yeah.
Even
That's how-
even Luke referred to him as Ben.
Old
Mhm.
Ben.
Yep.
He knew him as Old Ben.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
The
So I
guy
don't
that
think
made the
there's
rice.
Too much of a issue with that.
No.
Wow.
Gerald says that the show had a movie that was released in theaters,
Oh, that's right.
The Clone Wars. That I
That's right. But,
It
yeah,
had
animated.
it was like a couple episodes, and they had a movie. Yeah.
yeah. I don't
That's
think I'm counting that. We're just counting
yeah,
the
your
live
live
action
action. Live action.
Nah.
for now.
Because you know what? The animated, that's a whole different thing, which is, you know, Rebels and Clone Wars.
Well,
that can get
Rebels is the
different.
best of the best.
Oh.
Like when it comes
Rebels
Yeah,
to,
is
Clone,
so
Clone
good.
Wars is amazing. Clone Wars is amazing.
there's a lot of boring shit in the Clone Wars, buddy.
Really?
Clone
It-
Wars
it-
was
it's-
great.
Very
Clone
good.
Wars, Clone Wars gives you the chance to see, like, because with Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith, it's like all of a sudden almost Anakin's
Last season
dark and evil and
of the Clone
violent.
Wars.
Mhm.
But in Clone Wars, you get to see it stretched out a little more, and it's not quite so sudden. Like
It makes the prequels better
yeah,
if you watch it in order.
That's true.
The show.
That's true.
Okay, so that's number 11. Let's go for number 10 now.
okay.
Because I feel like everything about The Last Jedi has been basically said of why we don't like it. Actually, before we move on, I want everybody to name one thing they liked about The Last Jedi. I think that would be nice.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
what was number 11 again?
Number 11 was the last
Last
one,
Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
So,
Oh, I thought we were moving on to 10.
The
yeah.
cinematography.
cinematography.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
The only thing I personally liked about The Last Jedi was the sort of, because it was well done action, was the sudden team up of Rey and Kylo Ren. Kylo taking out Snoke,
That
and then them
that-
taking out
and that
like the
battle
guards.
scene,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I did like the Yoda Luke scene. And they talked about, you know, being like a master and being a and, you know, teaching, you know, the young
You know,
ones.
that was so forced. I felt it was so forced. Is that the one where they burned down the tree with all the
Yeah.
Jedi?
Yeah.
It's because Luke wanted to burn all of the knowledge of the Jedi. He
Right.
wanted to burn everything because he was
Which-
so just
Why?
Again, that didn't make any sense.
No,
That's my
made
point.
no
It doesn't
sense
make any sense. And then
whatsoever.
Yoda comes in and and talks to him.
It was like, mistake you've made.
Oh, how much
Marshmallows
I
we
miss
have.
you. You know.
It was more fan service kind of thing. I felt like,
Well, fan
like you
service
said,
had been the
it's
last
kind
one
of
that came
forced
out
in
too.
there.
Well, I won't like say, oh no to some fan service, because yeah, I like that stuff. It's sentimental,
I think Star
but
Wars needs to have fan service, but I think Rian Johnson with that movie decided, well, I'm not going to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to go and do in complete opposite direction, which makes him kind of an idiot in my book,
yeah,
because he's hired to do Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and Star Wars has a formula,
Mm-hmm.
and it's worked for many years.
It's like the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah, I mean, just do a Star Wars movie.
Except for Tokyo
And-
Drift.
yeah. I never want to run into that guy. That's all. I
no.
know.
It's funny. We met him years ago when he was starting out.
Very nice.
Very nice guy. Very fine
He
gentleman.
gave us foot rubs.
I will
Wow.
fight him.
Hey,
Foot rubs. Yeah, well, I think he had a foot fetish.
I thought that was Tarantino as a foot fetish.
Yeah, but I think he does too.
Oh.
It was like a club or something.
go away.
I guess it depends on the foot.
Joseph Navarro popped in, says, yo.
What's up?
Hello, Joseph. Thank you for joining. Alex Banquita in the house.
Hello.
What's up, Alex? Hey, buddy. Alex, remind everybody when your comic lands. When your new comic book lands in comic shops. Remind everybody. Because I've reminded Julio like 30 times. I'm going to tell you. Okay,
What?
here we go. We're going to move on to number 10 on the list. Number 10 should come as no surprise, right?
What is
No,
it?
number 10 is Attack of the Clones.
Oh, come on.
I don't think that's right.
I don't either. What the hell, Donald?
Julio, I
I'm
believe
sorry.
when you sent us your list, you said all the rest were trash. And Attack of the
They
Clones
aren't.
was not mentioned
That's true.
prior
Yeah, well,
to
no,
trash.
So you messed up the formula, Julio.
It's
You messed
better
up the
than Last Jedi.
Honestly, I just blame Donald for everything that goes wrong, so
Attack of the Clones. There we go. Count Dooku and Mace Windu.
Now, I love Count Dooku.
Did you
I
say
wish
Wyndham?
I wish we had
Did you
more
say
of them.
Wyndham?
No, I said Windu.
Window or Window?
Windu.
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 Wendigo.
Okay.
Wendigo.
Okay.
Sweet God, Donald.
Mace Wendigo. Is it Wendigo?
No, that's a different
Wendigo.
character. That's a different character.
Okay.
Wendigo's a white thing.
Yeah,
Wonton.
It's Canadian
Donald?
monster.
Donald,
What?
I am trying to force choke you right
Wigwam.
now.
Hmm.
You're sweet
Mace
God.
Wigwam. How? I'm gonna stop. It's gonna stop. All right, so that's number 10. Attack
Yeah.
of the Clones.
Good idea.
All right,
Good
so
idea.
why is this movie listed at number 10? It's boring.
Donald?
It's boring as shit.
Donald.
I fell
Donald.
asleep.
You didn't like the plot of trying to
I
figure
fell
out.
asleep at the drive-in.
You didn't like the mystery of trying to figure out what happened.
I put this on at the comic shop and I fell asleep.
Really?
Yeah.
So Eve.
Maybe
I
you
woke
were
up, there
just
was
tired,
25
Donald.
Is this
people
the
in
one?
line.
Attack of the Clones is the one with the Battle of Geonosis.
Yes, Val Geonosis, Count
Yeah,
Dooku,
I
doing
loved
business,
it.
taking care of business.
Thank you, Alex. Alex says probably second week of June, the Legion of Exceptional Gorilla Men.
Oh wow, nice.
But, and then he
Yeah,
goes, but what about
but
Count Dooku?
Donald. Yeah, Donald, you are wrong.
Christopher Lee's cool
Yeah.
and all, but that old man and Yoda are not
No.
bouncing around and jumping off shit. That's stupid.
That's
Why?
the
should've-
Force,
Why
bro.
not?
They
That's
should have
the Force.
off-screen tossed the puppet at him, and he should have just batted it away and been like, "Oh,
My
I'm
friend
Count
actually,
that's
Dooku."
real.
my
That
friend
would've been
actually
more
made a
realistic.
comment after we saw the movie. It's like you've got Christopher Lee, one of the most prominent
Yes,
and like
yes.
storied careers and everything like that. And it's like he was like, I would love to be on set when poor Christopher Lee, who has had this awesome career and he's a legend, an
Mhm.
icon,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like just fighting like this puppet kind of CGI thing.
yeah.
It's like, I mean,
Are you
I wonder if
judging him by
Christopher
his
Lee went
size?
home every day and was like, what has become of me?
Right.
Actually,
Judge
Julio
him by
made a good
his
point.
size,
Are you
do
judging
you?
him by his size?
yeah.
That's-
Gerald, I agree. Making Yoda and Palpatine so athletic with a lightsaber was silly. Yes, it
Yes,
was.
that is
Dooku
true.
as well. Dooku
It's
should
the
not have been
Force.
there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But Yoda.
I still laugh when he did that
What?
little
Because
hop. I was
Yoda's
Yeah.
cracking
Oh,
up.
there's
I
a
was
gif
cracking
on
up.
that.
I was cracking
There's
up.
a gif on that.
When Dooku did like that little hop.
They put a whole song to it. To the Dooku hop.
That thing cracked me up.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
No.
And then in Revenge of the Sith, he does like a freaking somersault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man.
Yep. I bet he said that like in his contract. He's like, make me athletic, because I'm not.
I played Dracula after all, you know.
Right.
He's a Jedi. I mean, they have different abilities, right? Their athletic ability is a bit different than other people, even if they are older.
He's
It's like, why can't they move a bit more quickly? Or
He's played
No.
He
out
had
so
Sith
many
powers.
times.
It's true. And
He's
he played
got
a
the
Bond
power
villain,
of the Force.
Scaramanga, in the Man with the Golden Gun.
True, that's true. Hector
Great
says, Hector, thanks for joining.
One of my
Baby Yoda
favorite
is
Bonds.
showing the same athleticism, so it tracks. Well, no, because Yoda's like probably 1,000 years older than Dooku, right?
Like 800 years older.
Yeah, some shit like that.
At this
What?
point, no. It's probably like
But
7.
he's a different species.
Yeah, he's a different species. That's
True.
right.
yeah, look at
Yeah.
Grogu. Look at Grogu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, smash that like button for us. Smash it up. It helps our algorithm. Just like it. Like us.
I'm gonna smash
Give us a
something.
thumb.
It brings us revenue.
Give us a thumbs up.
Brings us revenue from Google.
Right up Kevin's butthole. Give us a thumbs up, Kevin's butthole.
Oh,
For every thumbs up, Donald gets a smack from the fan.
that's right.
We're not in the same room, so whatever. Maria says, yeah, that's a huge bummer. George
I
Lucas
know
got
where you-
afraid of puppets at some point, and it sucks. Yeah, he did. He got afraid of puppets, and then he was like, all CGI. All
Which is
CGI,
funny, because in
all
the Phantom
time.
Menace, Yoda was a puppet in the Phantom Menace, and then they went CGI for
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
two, which is
It
weird.
doesn't make sense.
But he looked crazy. If you look at that eyeball action on that Yoda, it's nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing wrong with that. Gotta love that. Okay, so Attack of the Clones. We all know why it sucked. We all get it. Okay, so that was number 10.
No,
Let's go
we
to-
don't.
Yes, we do, Sammy. Number 9. Here we go.
Fuck Donald.
Hey, Jed. Thanks for joining.
What's up, Jed?
Number 9. Rise of Skywalker.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was awful.
Now,
Yes.
why?
Disorganized.
Oh, look, it's
disjointed.
Juice.
The Juice Man. The Juice
Rise of
Man.
Trash.
Skywalker.
Trash.
Well, he's right. I agree.
Here's a question for you too. The title is kind of misleading in a way, but also, and I get it. The
You're not
whole
kidding.
it's like at the end of the movie, she takes the Skywalker name or whatever.
Ooh.
Here's my
Okay.
question. For
Ooh.
you, though. No, here's my thing. It wouldn't have made more sense for her to take the last name Solo instead of Skywalker. And here's
I agree.
where I'm going with that.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
agree.
Let's hear it.
She bonded hella more with Han and
Correct.
Leia than she ever did with Luke, because
Correct.
Luke was just basically a curmudgeonly old bastard the entire
Yeah,
time.
I agree.
they were together.
The old man.
And
I'm the old man.
Ben Solo basically sacrificed himself to save her life,
Correct.
Right.
and they kind of had a weird like connection dyad thing going. I feel like it would have made hella more sense for her to take the name Rey Solo,
Or
not
just be
Skywalker.
honest, since they decided to make her a Palpatine, just be honest, Ray Palpatine.
Yeah.
You're
No,
not
well,
gonna
I think
you're not
it
gonna
would've
want to
been
go
better.
around the galaxy
But
with the last name
Kevin,
Palpatine.
Who is gonna own up
Also
to that?
true.
Who is gonna own up to being a Palpatine?
Hold on a second.
Come on.
Exactly.
Luke
Sammy,
Skywalker, he
there's
owned up to
nobody's
the
gonna
fact his
go
father
around
was
with the
Darth
name
Vader.
Palpatine.
Hey,
Yeah, but there was more to him than that. That was like, he wasn't freaking Chancellor Palpatine who helped turn Anakin to the dark side and did all that.
I
awful
think she should have
shit.
took a Wookiee last name. She hung out with
Yes.
Chewbacca longer than anybody else.
what?
Who doesn't
Ray
like Chewie?
was it? Ray of
Who doesn't like
Kashyyyk.
Chewie?
Ray of Kashyyyk.
Yeah,
or something?
sure. That would have made more sense.
But you know what would have been funny and just out of freaking nowhere? If when the old lady's all like, "What's your name?" and she's like, "Ray Smith."
Ray Smith.
Yeah.
Or just Ray.
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 Ray Yoder.
Ray from
You know,
Tatooine,
just like,
from the homestead.
By the way, you know what the original title for
Bad.
Episode 9 was?
what?
It was actually a much
What?
better title. It was going to be called Duel of the Fates. When the original director who did Jurassic World before they fired him, I actually saw part of the script online. It's like a much better story. Like it did, like it actually made more sense. Where it's the path they should have actually went down. But you know, it is what it is.
Okay,
And
so
well,
Ross
and
or
for
Ron?
those obviously a lot of Star Wars fans would know that that's the title of the theme for the fight at the end
Yeah.
of Phantom Menace. You know, so it would come full circle.
Yes, exactly. And matter of fact, that was the whole
That
idea
would've
of his
been so
script.
much
It was going to
better.
come full circle for
So
all
the
three
Full
trilogies.
Circle would have been a better name for the
Why
movie.
not?
The reason why I think this
heck would-
movie
yeah.
sucks so much, hear me out on this,
Yes,
is because
please
the
tell us,
film
Donald.
before it was so bad that, and I mean bad for like normal Star Wars fans, that they hated it so venomously, right? That
Yeah.
they had to figure out a way to course correct, and by doing that, they had to suck up to the fans, and they didn't know what to do, so they just kind of reverted back to the most extreme fan service you've ever seen,
And also
which ended up
stupid.
being a very incorrect way to go.
It's stupid because
So
those new movies,
I think
those
that's
new
why.
movies from the
Also,
beginning.
Why do you bring Palpatine back?
they-
That made no
they
sense
lack-
at all. That pissed me off because you just basically invalidated
Why would you erase Snoke?
Anakin Skywalker's redemption. You just basically invalidated
They should
it.
have just said that Snoke wasn't dead
Right.
and not gone with Palpatine.
Right. You could have said that was a clone of Snoke or something.
Yeah, some
You
bullshit.
could have
exactly.
you could have done.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you could have done.
Don't they
Yeah.
show that there were like Snoke?
Oh yeah,
clones?
yeah. They should have.
They find like a room or something like that with
Right.
a bunch of other Snokes.
Right. They had all, I guess
So, yeah,
all the
that could have
different
been
shots.
doable.
It's kind of like with Aliens with Ripley. It's kind of like all these different
Yeah.
versions before they finally
Yeah.
got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And supposedly with the Mandalorian, supposedly Grogu, the reason why they had him captured was to take some kind of genetic material for him so they can make Snoke and a Snoke Palpatine clone. That's what basically
And
Snoke is.
Palpatine because the Force abilities,
Right.
and they wanted his DNA. But I mean, those like sequel movies. I hated them because they just had nothing that the original movies had. Like from the beginning, I was excited because more Star Wars, but then when I saw them, I was like, eh. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, we get to see Han Solo again and Luke and them, but it's like, it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. I don't
They
feel
were
the
never
attached.
together, ever.
It was
Why?
not the same.
Yeah.
And then
Why
with
would you never
Leia,
put them together for like at least
Yeah.
1 minute of screen time passing before they went onto their separate ships?
Yeah.
Just
most
hey,
of the reason I saw those movies was because of like the sentimental attachment to the original people, and like when
Right.
after Carrie Fisher passed, and I went to go see, afterwards, and I was like, yeah, like I knew she was already dead, and I, cried, and I was super sad, and I was emotional because of that. But the movies, and yeah, I like Oscar Isaac. Poe Dameron was really,
Oh,
really attractive, but
God.
other
Yeah,
than
he
that,
We have
Like,
against
he's-
we have against Oscar.
He's the biggest fucking villain in the whole thing.
Oscar Isaac.
Poe Dameron was the biggest villain in the whole
Oscar
Star
Isaac?
Wars in the
Wow.
new Star Wars film.
How?
they were trying
Because
to make
they
Poe
said,
into like the
"Don't
new Han
leave,
Solo,
don't
'cause he
do
was like
this,
this pilot,
Or
and he
it'll ruin
did the-
everything, and then he does it
He did
anyway,
the spice stuff,
and then everybody
you know.
gets killed. He literally got
Yeah.
thousands of people killed. He's a piece of shit.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Poe Dameron's a
sorry.
piece of
Hey,
shit. That guy can kiss my ass.
Wow.
Going back to Palpatine for a second, just for a brief second, what are your thoughts on the fan theory that Palpatine is Anakin's father?
Well,
Because
God.
you never find out who his father
well,
is. And
actually,
and me, Skywalker basically
My-
makes it sound like it was some weird immaculate conception.
well,
Jesus style
there
or
is an
something.
explanation for it, Monty. Basically, Palpatine and his master Darth Plagueis, they were fooling around with the midichlorians and the Force, and they were trying to find a way to correct this ultimate being, and
So
that's how.
ultimate beating. Yeah.
And that's how Shmi Skywalker got pregnant, basically. So the Force was able to use through the midichlorians were able to be manipulated into one particular person to give birth. It basically kind of do like the Jesus thing, the Jesus figure. Mary, Virgin Mary, giving birth to a Messiah or a powerful figure. So that's
So-
basically so Palpatine in a sense
Would you
is
consider
the father, but
Palpatine kind
in
of
a way,
his father?
yes, in a way. And I think there was like some cut scene in Revenge of the Sith or in the novel.
Well, that would also explain why Anakin's kind of like a derp. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
'cause he's not.
Hey, but he
A
can speak
derp?
droid.
speech
Derp.
droid.
A derp, yeah, a derp.
Anakin was extremely intelligent, building
Oh,
droids, and
He was
his
extremely
power with the
intelligent,
Force,
but not
and
when
as
it
a
came to his
pilot, and
emotions.
Well, that was his weakness. That was his weak
Yeah,
spot.
a big weakness. That's
that
his
was
derp.
his weak spot. Was his emotions? Okay, Donald.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Can you fly a pod racer? Can you
I
build?
don't
droids?
know. I've never tried.
First of all,
I was
they
the
don't
gunner.
exist. They don't
I wasn't the
exist.
Never
pilot,
tried.
Sammy.
I played one in a video game.
Yeah.
In the video game, the pod racing video game. Does that count?
Oh yeah. Well, then in that case, I
Never
won't.
done that, so that doesn't count.
But I'm the best pod racer there is.
And one last thing. One thing that doesn't make sense to me. This whole sequel trilogy was so disorganized. You would think you have a multi-billion-dollar property. You basically could print money with Star Wars. Yoda could be using the bathroom for 2 hours, and you can make like $200 million because people
Oh,
love
yeah.
Star Wars so much. All you had to do
It's a money machine.
was just have a competent story for 3 movies, and you're good. I thought this is my humble opinion, what they should have done. Snoke should have been one of those original Jedi from thousands of years ago. That was the first person to go fully dark side and corrupt and create the Sith, basically. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
when in that original Jedi Temple, you saw that figure that looks very like a yin yang symbol that Luke was next to. That symbol looked kind of like Snoke, the way it was kind of shaped. So I'm thinking, oh wow, this must be like some of the original Jedi, and that's what he is.
Yeah.
And basically, you need Rey and you need Kylo Ren to team up together in the end to take him down, because both of them, if you notice, but it wasn't fully executed, can use the light and dark side of the Force. So that would have kind of made
Yeah, they're
sense.
dyad.
Yes.
Force dyad.
Yeah.
Exactly, the
I-
Force dyad, because the original Jedi, it turns out, even in the books or comics, they used to practice the light and dark side of the
In
Force.
the dark.
But the problem was, it's kind of like in real life in a way. You have darkness within yourself, you should acknowledge it. Don't ignore it. It's there. It's just balancing it within yourself. That's what it's
Yeah.
all about. So that's how they would have actually gotten everything fully balanced in the Force once and for all. Is once you defeated Snoke, that's it. And then together, Ben Solo and Rey can start a new Jedi order that teaches the original teaching and just teach each student how to balance the light and dark side within themselves. And that's it. That's your move. That's your trilogy.
I mean, yeah, I agree. And at the same time, I know people have both light and dark, and then most normal people have good and bad sides. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But also, I just have to say, Ben Solo, Kylo Ren annoyed the crap out of me in all those movies.
Oh.
I couldn't take it. He was like this little emo bitch boy, and he just got he threw temper tantrums over everything, and I was like, really? You're the grandson of Darth Vader?
But I
Yes.
think he killed less people than Poe.
Well,
That's
Anakin
something
was a
like
little,
that.
Anakin was a little bitch most of the time.
He
Emo.
was.
yeah, but not
bitch
like
most of the
not
time,
like Ben
before
Solo.
he became
Yeah, I don't
Vader.
know. Anakin was a pretty big bitch.
Anakin had a reason to wear that helmet though, and then Kylo like he wore the helmet because he wanted to be like his
Why do you have the
grandpa,
helmet
and
in
it's
an
like
ashtray? That's
Yeah,
what I never
that's weird.
understood.
That was
yeah,
weird.
yeah, he had
Yeah.
his burnt helmet in ashtray. Like, Grandpa, I'm gonna finish what you started, and it's like when he was dying, Anakin was already going back to the light and regretted
Oh,
all of that stuff.
That's another
And-
thing. How could we see that an Anakin Force ghost? That would have made sense. He could have actually reached out at some point
I
and
thought we did at the end of the last one.
Return of the Jedi, not Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi.
No, yeah.
It would have
Yeah,
made
no,
it
Luke
actually
was
would have
there
made
in Rise
sense.
of the Skywalker.
It would have made sense
Rise of
if Anakin's Skywalker's Force ghost.
Anakin.
Yeah, Anakin's
Yeah.
Anakin's Force ghost. If it would have appeared to like say Kylo and kind of talked. Actually, I have an idea. What if you had both? You had Darth Vader's
I don't
Force
think
ghost
they would have had to
and
try too hard to
Anakin's
get
Force ghost to kind of like
Hayden
talk to
Christensen
him.
back for
Well,
it.
no, and Hayden was. I'm honestly
Hayden needs
like
a
those
paycheck.
prequel movies were not great, but like he was honestly kind of unfairly attacked for that. It wasn't just his fault. Those movies, those were not just his fault. And
No.
like, I'm glad he got to come back a little bit for the Obi-Wan series because, like,
I'm not.
no, he's
Should have been
not-
Darth
He's
Maul.
not the greatest.
That's
He's
true,
not the
that's
greatest
true.
actor in the world,
Actually,
but like,
season 2.
it wasn't
That
his
makes sense.
fault. Those movies were the way they were.
Well, you
It was
think
not.
about one of the biggest thing was he was saddled with some of the most stilted wooden dialogue
Yeah, that was not
ever.
like,
George Lucas is not a wordsmith.
Nope.
No,
You know what I
No,
mean?
Definitely not a wordsmith. And I think the problem with those movies is technology itself. I mean, George Lucas was always experiment with different types of advancements in technology in the film, and sometimes there wasn't nobody there. It was a tennis ball. How do you feed
Communicate-
off of that as an actor?
Exactly.
You know,
That's why the
But I
Mandalorian
do-
is great to have like that screen where they can actually act off of it, so to help them out.
God, what is
Yeah.
that called again? I forgot what it's called. With the whole room with the
Yeah, it's a special
Oh.
project. I'll come to me in a second. It's kind of like an LED projection screen, so you actually see the world,
the
alien world that
volume
you're on.
or the something.
Okay.
So it makes
Yeah,
it easier
and-
to act off of it.
yeah, you want the sets. You know,
What?
you
What was
You
that
really want it.
ride? What's that ride that you didn't
But
get
it's
to go
also
on,
not-
Julio, at Disneyland? What was it?
Space Mountain?
The Star Wars
Star
ride.
Tours.
Please
Star
don't-
Tours?
please-
No, it wasn't Star
Please
Tours. It
don't
was the
bring
other
that
one.
up. I have not been on that yet.
Rise of the Resistance.
That's it. Rise of the
On
Resistance.
that yet. I have not been on that
Paul,
yet. I
let
have
me
not
tell
been
you
on
all
that
Yeah,
yet.
either.
about it. I'm gonna break it down.
Oh my
scene
God,
for scene.
Donald!
You're
Okay.
the fucking worst.
Donald, tell your mom.
You're rebel scum.
Yes.
Mrs. McKinney,
Scum and
Mrs.
villainy.
McKinney, your son is being mean and he's trying to spoil Disneyland for me. You need to like.
She sounds like such an entitled brat.
Oh, wow. Wow.
This is sad.
Wow.
This is sad.
Coming from the
He's
baby
trying
of
to
his family.
spoil Star Wars for me.
Wow.
Guys, he's trying to spoil Star Wars.
Wow, Donald.
Nerd alert. Sammy's here.
Donald. Yes, I am. What
All right.
and what?
Okay, so that was number 9. Moving on. Maria says one of the best parts of The Last Jedi was a message that you can be powerful and important without being part of a dynasty. And then they were like, just kidding, she's Palpatine's kid. Yeah,
That's part of that movie.
That's a
is
valid
Yeah.
point.
that's also
Very
very
And
valid
also, they
point.
tease
He
Finn
told her
having
she
force
was
abilities
nobody,
too.
and then
the green one.
yeah, you
Green
don't
one.
have to be part of the Skywalker family or the Palpatine family to
Hey,
be powerful with the Force, but then they changed their minds and were like,
Hey-
oh no.
Hey Sammy, don't you find it interesting with back in Rise of Skywalker where Finn's teasing that he has force abilities? Hey Ray, I need to tell you something, and then we never find out what that is.
Well, that's another reason why Boyega got so pissed that the whole character arc that
They
he
did
thought
Yeah.
that was
so
going to be
many.
built was
Yeah,
completely
they-
tossed.
Yes. Yeah.
How many
It
of
was
those
terrible.
smaller or
I mean,
or
let's
more
talk
like
about the
supporting
casino.
characters? They
Oh
did them so
man!
wrong.
Oh my
Like,
god!
We're not going to do that.
Oh.
Especially
No.
considering that you assume he's
Save
never
the
used a
animals, but not the
lightsaber.
kid, not the children.
Yep.
He was
Yeah,
able
and
to
then-
hold his own for a decent minute against Kylo
yeah.
in
Evan says, yeah, but Kylo
Force
was ripped.
Awakens.
He also says, I think he was the best part
Oh,
of
yeah.
the trilogy. Jed says, Kevin speaking the
Evan?
facts. Sean says, good point,
Have you
Monty.
seen
Lucas
that-
isn't a wordsmith.
Mm.
Mom says, don't spoil it for her, son. And Maria says, also, a lot of the OG trilogy had Marcia Lucas,
Marcia Lucas.
Lucas
His wife,
helping
first
to
wife.
fix story problems and give the scenes heart in the cutting room, and she obviously did not edit the prequel.
Thank you, Maria. That's an excellent point. There's actually a very good documentary on Vice. I think it's Vice. They're going through all the original Star Wars trilogy, and they're interviewing Marcia Lucas, his first wife. Yes, she's a main reason why Star Wars actually worked, that original trilogy. She was very influential. She was one of the people who would say, like, no to George. Wait, George, chill.
Right.
Oh my
You know,
god.
I'm gonna talk about this to the end of time, but remember when
Oh,
they did a
Donald.
behind the scenes thing, and Lucas is up on like a whiteboard marker board, and he's like pointing, and there's arrows and circles.
Oh, yes, for
and he's
Phantom
like-
Menace, right?
Yeah, and
Yes,
he's like,
yes.
Jar Jar is the key to all this.
Yes, I remember
Oh,
that.
no.
I remember that.
Oh, no.
And then later on, after the screening, he was like, "Oh, looks like I went a little too far." when they did like their
Why would
first
you
screening
put
of the
That
movie.
poor
Jar
actor.
Jar?
That
Why?
poor actor. I was so
Oh, yeah, he
happy
got
to see that
harassed.
they brought him
Oh,
back
yeah.
as a different character. That's
Yeah,
an extremely important character.
He got,
Yeah.
he
And
got
it's not-
redeemed.
He got
not
redeemed.
his
It's not his
fault.
fault.
It's
Poor
just
guy.
that
Ahmed
character was
Best.
so
Yeah.
Well,
that character
you
was
know,
so irritating.
okay, so we don't like those prequels, but kids love those.
I know. I like
when
one of the prequels.
you talk
Oh.
to kids about Star Wars at the shop, and they always bring up the prequels as being awesome.
A
Well,
lot of
they
kids,
grew up
that's
with
their
it. It
first
makes sense.
experience.
That's
Yeah.
the ones
Yeah.
that they grew. Yeah.
Just like,
I mean, with
unfortunately,
me, like-
these poor kids, these Gen Zers, are growing up with the sequel trilogy, and that's probably going to be their thing.
Oh god. Oh
Unfortunately.
god. No.
Well, kids today
I mean-
were able to start with episode 1. We, on the other hand, we had to wait till like
It's true.
99.
He's not wrong. We got it all
Kinda deal.
disjointed in
Yeah.
a way. True to
It- so
form,
it's all
Three
kind of
generations.
but right. I wonder if,
just,
I-
yeah.
but because of the parents that are obviously Star Wars fans, I wonder if
like
these
that,
kids
grandparents at this point.
were introduced in the same way that they were. Like, I wonder if Dad was like, okay, we're going to watch episode 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to go back to 1, 2, and 3. And the kid's like, why? That's just the way it is, kid. That's the way
It
it
is the way it is.
You
It
know
I
what
had to
mean?
watch it in
This
that
is the
order.
way.
So were you.
I have spoken.
This is the way. That's
Do
right.
what
Yeah.
I say, child.
Yeah, so
No,
I
I mean-
wonder if there's a bit of that going
Yeah.
on. But let's
Well, but
let's
I mean,
move on.
for me, I was lucky because
passionate.
like
I love it.
I grew up watching the original trilogy. My dad, we had the original trilogy on VHS, and so I started with A New Hope, and I was Princess Leia for Halloween when I was a kid, and it was just like I got lucky. But
You didn't dress up as Padme Amidala?
How many Rose
that was
Tico
before the
costumes
prequels.
are there?
That was before the prequels.
What was that, Julio?
Not many.
What
How many Rose Tico costumes are there?
That poor lady.
Probably 2.
Talk about somebody getting
Who?
No,
harassed.
I feel
Death
bad for her
threats.
too because that was not fair. Like
That was not
people
her
were
fault.
so
Who?
mean.
People
Who
are
was it?
horrible.
Yeah.
The character
Rose
that
Tico?
got introduced in The Last Jedi.
Oh,
The
bless
one
her
who
heart.
was, like,
Bless that actor's
Yeah,
heart.
it's not her fault. It's just bad writing
No.
and bad plotting.
John Fox in the house. He says, "What's VHS?"
VHS is a format.
Oh,
How
no.
old are you?
Did
How
somebody
old are you,
literally
John?
just actually
VHS,
seriously
He-
ask that
Betamax,
question, or are they
Betamax.
John
Please tell
knows.
me.
John
Betamax
knows.
actually should have won that
It's-
format. Right?
Okay.
You're not wrong. It's
It-
It's
just
a lot
John,
better.
like,
It was a
14
lot
or
better
something?
format.
Like,
It's just
No,
the
I mean, like-
recordability of a long VHS. You get 6 hours.
It wasn't her fault.
Do you
It wasn't
remember
really-
going to the video store and they always had the rewind machines? Please, be kind, rewind.
Oh yeah, they find
There
you.
was a
don't-
fee,
pop it
50
into
cent
the
fee.
machine.
Yeah, they
It
find
was
you.
all
You
the
did.
remember
time.
that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I remember going to Blockbuster on like Friday nights and wanting to like pick a movie to watch or a video game to play, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was
I-
fun. That
I
was
had
the most
no-
fun.
I still have my
Problem for
Blockbuster
us.
card for
I
nostalgia's
worked
sake.
at Blockbuster. I worked at Blockbuster.
Oh,
I
shit.
loved Blockbuster.
Everybody
I miss
thought I
it.
worked
It was
at
fun.
Hollywood Video, but that's because my job. I worked in a restaurant that they made us wear. It was the stupidest thing: black pants and a white dress shirt. So after work, I'd go over to Hollywood Video, where they had to wear black pants and a white dress shirt.
I got confused.
So I'd be looking at movies, and then next thing you know, I'm walking people around. Oh yeah, you want to
Oh,
watch
Donald.
this, and you want to check
You're
this
not- you're
out.
not getting paid either.
and I ain't
for
getting
it.
paid shit, but I'm recommending
Well,
everything I think is cool.
I loved Hollywood Video because they had a lot more selection.
Yes,
Like,
they
did.
do.
I
It
never-
was
I never
better
really
than
went to Hollywood
Blockbuster.
Video.
I agree.
Yeah, it was a better video
I just-
store in general.
there
They
was
had
a
the
the
midnight
shit
return
Give
time.
me your
Yes,
action movies.
Absolutely. You
Hollywood
see, the
Video.
poor kids
Yeah.
now, they just don't know the pleasure of going to a video store and just picking through
I
the
do miss
section.
that, like going, looking, reading the bags.
Like
and stuff.
honestly,
Yeah, just discover
honestly,
movies for yourself.
It was really fun. It was really fun to browse and
It's
see
like
what
the
they
record store,
had
same
and read
thing.
the back
Yeah.
and be like, "This sounds
Do you
good." And-
did you ever see that horror movie Jack Frost? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
version of Jack Frost? It's
Okay,
One of my
so
favorites.
I
horror.
did a really naughty thing one time at my local video store
with a carrot?
in my
boy.
hometown.
Please don't do that with a carrot,
Donald.
Monty. Not,
Yeah.
not in a public place.
Monty.
Not that.
Oh,
Not
okay.
that. I
Okay.
didn't go that far.
All right, cool.
What I did do, because around the same time, there's the Jack Frost horror movie, Killer Snowman or whatever, and with his carrot.
Oh, yeah. I know where this
Then
is
there
going.
was also the Michael Keaton Jack Frost
Yeah.
movie. I traded them out. I put the
Oh God.
the horror movie one behind the case for
You're going
the
to
Michael
hell.
Keaton family
Michael
movie.
Keaton one,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And the family movie behind the horror movie.
Oh no.
Going straight to hell, Monty.
I know I am going to hell. That's probably going to be like the one thing I go to hell for. Not
No,
anything
I
else
feel
I've done. Just that.
You're like Tyler Durden. You're like Tyler Durden hiding the little the snippet.
Yeah,
I
little
know.
snippets of
Snippet of
Pretty
porn.
funny.
By the way,
though.
that movie can't be made
Pretty
today.
funny.
That movie would not be made
Fight
today.
Club.
Yeah, the Twitter
one?
mob would destroy
Ah,
it.
then kiss an
The Twitter
ass.
mob would be all
Which-
over that.
Fight Club's amazing.
Fight Club. If it was made today, the Twitter mob would be all.
Gerald
attacking it.
makes an
It's a
interesting
fantastic
point.
movie. It's a fantastic.
No, I know it. I agree with you. I'm just saying,
Probably
people
that,
today
you're
would be
right.
all over it.
Gerald says.
I'm tired of people of today. I've had enough. Today
Gerald
I reached
says,
my.
yeah, we're at our limit on that. Gerald says there's a video store in Magnolia, on Magnolia Boulevard or in Magnolia someplace. Is that a city?
In Burbank.
Be
Burbank.
Kind Video. I've been meaning to go. Huh.
Oh.
I think
Wow.
Saturday Matinee is still around in North Hollywood.
I don't know anything about that.
Is it?
I think so. I could be wrong. I think
I
it's
don't
still
remember
around.
that.
I think it's only open like 2 days a week. or
Mom and
something.
Dad say Redbox, and Tracy says that's hilarious, Monty. Okay, so Phantom Menace. Let's talk about Phantom Menace real quick.
Yes.
It's number
Okay.
8 on the list just for the fight scene, right? We can all agree.
Oh! Come on! It's awesome. It's one
It's
of
like
the
number
best.
8.
One of the best.
The best.
love-
Great
What-
parts.
Awesome!
Like
Awesome.
dual
Oh my- he
saber
is-
fight scene.
he is
and,
a
and,
legend.
and just hearing the music while they're going at it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. What was what's his name? Liam Neeson. Who is he? What was
Qui-Gon
his name?
Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon
Yeah.
Jinn.
Yeah. Oh, also,
My favorite
this
part-
movie was great because Weird Al made a song based upon it too, right?
Oh yes, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite part of the Phantom Menace is Watto.
Watto.
Oh.
Watto is pretty cool.
I just happened to have a chance, Cube. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
God,
I'm on the
such
floor
a
every time.
breeze. Such
Yeah,
a
Watto.
breeze.
And also, I thought
It's
you
very
liked the
cool.
Trade Federation characters, Julio.
Yeah.
Oh, on
Too.
Magnolia. Thank you.
Nate Gunray.
Okay, so
Newt
that's
Gunray.
number 8. The Phantom Menace. We
Newt.
all know it's great because of the fight scene. Everything else is whatever. We get introduced to metachlorians and all that
It's
shit.
not all that.
Too.
That's like the worst part of the movie. Why explain the Force?
Yeah, that's true.
It's supposed to be a mystery.
Yep. Here we go.
Like,
All right, number 7, The Force Awakens, guys. That was number 7 on the list.
All right, here's a problem with The Force Awakens, and they made a huge mistake that would carry over because you guys just mentioned this 5 minutes earlier about Kylo Ren. He should have never have taken off his mask. He was coming off like a good badass at the very beginning.
Oh my-
where
yeah.
he throws that laser when
Yeah.
Poe was
You
trying to
forgot
shoot him.
that
I said,
match.
okay,
It's
this
like-
is
Was it at the
I'm
beginning?
sorry,
Wasn't
sir.
it? It was Max von Sydow that he just cuts down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bringing fury. I'm like, okay, this dude's good. All right. And then he takes off his
Max
mask.
von Sydow of Judge Dredd fame, by
Yes.
the way, from the '95
Oh
film.
my
with
God.
Sylvester
And
Stallone.
many
Isn't he
great
in-
classic
isn't
films.
Isn't he in Flash Gordon? The original Flash Gordon?
Yeah, he was
I don't know.
Mean
Judge
the
Dredd, man.
Merciless.
I don't know.
Mean the
He's
Merciless.
Judge Dredd. He's Judge Dredd.
Yeah, he's
Judge Dredd.
mean.
He went on the long walk. Judge Dredd.
But huge mistake to have Kylo take off his mask, and the other huge mistake for him to lose in the first movie of a trilogy to Rey, who has no experience.
Yeah.
That killed it right there. What they could have done at
Oh,
best,
you could tell Kevin's getting excited. He's shaking everything.
if they could have done it best, was make the fight a draw.
Okay, guys.
So when they're on that planet that was Elium, when it was breaking up, where
Kevin,
they,
stop, Kevin!
It's all right, man.
Oh, he's getting too excited.
When they were on Star Killer Base, which used to be the planet Ilium, where you would get your lightsaber
The dumbest
crystals.
name ever.
Yes, but the Star Killer Base.
Hey, Julio, do you have one of those Kyber crystals, by the way?
Yeah, the Kyber crystals
where
are
you
from there originally.
Put it in
I
the
did. I
lightsaber?
just sold mine.
You sold it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Had they just simply
That's
had
the
a
expensive.
draw, the fight ended a draw. So you know when the Earth had cracked up, they just had
I
one
have
person.
a kyber crystal.
Yeah, there
Oh
you go.
wow! Look at that Kyber
Wow,
crystal.
Look at that. That's a nice $200.
Yeah, look at that. That's cool.
It was not
expenditure.
$200. Okay, I
It's
got it
like
on.
I sold mine for $200.
Oh, nice.
There we go. What
I
color
had this.
That's
That's
it's
not
blue.
much,
Black
It's
dude.
blue.
Obsidian one.
Her Kyber crystal's blue.
is it?
Yeah,
Does
it's
your
blue.
lightsaber
Yeah.
turn blue?
Yeah. That's
Leia one I have does.
Yeah, the last
Batteries
one was.
weren't
Yeah.
probably dead.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kylo Ren, though, and I posted this on Facebook several years ago. This was before. Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, it's generally a trend in that family. It's like Anakin gets dismembered, becomes Vader. Luke loses a hand, becomes like the greatest Jedi of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I'm like basically Skywalkers are whiny bitches until they lose a limb. Is my point.
And Rey didn't make any
I
kind of
know.
sacrifice.
So I was like, Kylo
Physically.
Ren needs to lose something, and then maybe he can step up a little bit because he's technically also a Skywalker, right? Because he's Leia's
Yeah.
kid just as much as Han.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah.
it's like I'm like the Skywalker men need to lose limbs to not be whiny bitches.
Yes, that's
and
true.
Ben was still a whiny bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, by the way, how does a lightsaber, which usually just cuts right through limbs easily, how does he just get lucky and just gets, serrated on his face by Rey? That's another thing I find ridiculous.
Exactly.
Again, that fight should have ended in a draw. When the Earth was separating, when the planet was falling apart, you should have had one stay on each side, just staring each other down, kind of like letting you know, we'll continue this at another time. Basically, it should have ended in a
Well,
draw.
Kevin,
and if
the
anything,
reason he got lucky. The reason that he got lucky is he needed to have a menacing scar on his
yes.
face
Yeah, he
for
needed to
the
have
next
some-
movie.
oh, kind of like
mark,
what's his name from
something
the
that
Bond
made him
figure,
not
a
so-
Blofeld, kind of like a
Like
Blofeld
Harry
type,
Potter?
Blofeld type
Blofeld.
scar.
No, Rey is not a
Yeah, don't
Skywalker,
compare him to
technically.
Harry
Alex.
Potter.
He just took the. She
Just
took
a
the
little
Kylo
line.
Ren.
Rey's a Palpatine, Alex.
Kylo Ren was a little whiny emo bitch, and that scar was like the closest thing they could do without cutting off a limb. Like they didn't even cut off a limb; they just gave him a scratch on his face, and
Yeah.
I hate him. I don't.
Tell
I
us how
don't
you
know
really
why.
feel, Sammy.
Don't know why
Tell us
so
how you really
many
feel.
like there's so many
Kylo Ren
girls-
is the LeBron of the Star Wars universe.
Ooh,
girls
Sean-
online that find Kylo so hot and everything.
Oh,
and I
that's weird.
don't get it.
Really?
I don't.
I don't
just
find
wanna
that guy to
hit
be
him. I wanna
attractive in
hit him.
general.
Well, actually, a lot of women find Adam Driver to be attractive.
You know what's funny is somebody did
Yeah.
a picture. They did a cartoon drawing of Adam Driver, and it was that scene where he had his shirt down
Oh yeah.
and his big old titties, and then like
with his pants,
Luke came over and
with
milked him.
strangely his pants like pulled up
Like-
past his belly button.
So
Yeah.
why?
Yeah,
All
awkward.
I think of is the Matt the radar technician thing from SNL.
Oh,
where it's
hilarious.
Like, oh yeah, Kylo Ren shredded. He's got an 8-pack or something, and it's like, no, Kylo Ren's a little punk bitch. He's like 80 pounds soaking wet under that little black dress, and it's like, yeah,
You see, when you're building a villain, and especially when wearing a mask, you don't take off the first mask in the first movie. They should have done it no earlier
Yeah, they
than
should have done a third film.
like in the second. Yes, the third film. Yes, exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, look, Woody Harrelson's in this.
Yeah, you said you
Huh.
called me a liar, man. I told
He's
you
in
he's in
this
the movie.
photo. I knew he was in
I
there.
told you he's in the movie.
Huh.
Dang. See, I
He's
knew
right
it.
there in the picture. Kevin?
Yes, I told you.
I'll be damned.
I told you.
Look at that.
I told you so.
Okay, so the guy that played Solo, by the way, did a much better performance in Cocaine Bear.
Alden
I
Ehrenreich.
feel like
what
if
is
they
this?
would have taken the character from him in
Oh.
Cocaine Bear and put him into Solo, he would have been way better.
I haven't seen Cocaine Bear. I didn't know he was in that.
Yes.
You
Not
must.
this much.
You must.
Uh-huh.
Not this
Jared
much.
says
It was
Kylo
Ray
was
Liotta's
going
last
through
film.
the
Out of respect,
disillusion.
you owe it to Ray Liotta.
Jared says Kylo was going through the disillusion of his marriage from Scarlett Johansson.
What?
Kylo was
Oh,
going through the
yeah,
disillusion.
that
of his
movie.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That's right.
Gray says, I can't argue with any of these points, but I still enjoyed Force Awakens more than any of the prequels.
No.
Revenge of the Sith is
Moment.
better. Revenge of the Sith's a
Moment.
better movie.
Revenge of the Sith is good.
Definitely.
Yeah, Gray, maybe go back and watch just that one. I feel like,
I
or
was
just
so
replay
excited
that
for
fight
Force
scene over and over
Awakens
and over again.
because I was like, wow, we finally get new Star Wars. And I was so excited to see the original people. And the fact that, one, we didn't see
Oh.
Luke until like the very end for a second. And
Yes.
then Han Solo and what happened. And like, I don't hate Finn,
Evan, you're
but
not
I just
wrong.
I love Poe more.
I think Finn was
Psychopathic killer.
should have been a
Of
Jedi.
course she loves
E-
him.
Even in the Lego Star Wars Christmas special,
Yeah.
Ray
what's
was
that?
training him to be a Jedi. So I don't know what in the
Well, they teased
poster
it. They teased
has
it.
him as a Jedi.
They teased it. He's like, Ray, I have to tell you something. I think I have, and then they don't answer the question.
They did.
And then,
Say her.
and then
Yeah.
the Last Jedi happens, and they send him and Rose Tico
Oh yeah. Oh,
to
don't give
the
me started
casino
on that.
planet.
That's
Or
the
like
dumbest thing ever. First of all,
Yeah.
oh my
3/4
god.
of the
That was
movie.
a
Canto
weird,
bite.
like-
So basically, we're gonna save and free the animals, but we're gonna leave the children there to stay in slavery. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You talk like the super PETA.
Kevin, they got the
Yeah.
ring though.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that's
the
nice.
ring.
Oh, that's nice.
Ring.
And then
Oh, that's
you got
nice.
you got the kid
Hey.
at the end who's able to like force pull the broom,
Yeah.
and
but
then
he-
that's never
Oh,
touched upon.
right,
again.
right.
Yeah.
But you know, he can't force pull his way out of slavery, though. You know, it's
All
just
those-
ridiculous.
All those side characters, though, like all those like lesser secondary characters, they didn't really, whether it's Finn or Poe or any of them,
Hmm.
they kind of got the short end of the stick. It's like, oh, they don't really get
Oh,
much
that's
of a
the one.
backstory. They don't, unless you maybe read the books or anything else. And
Oh, that's
they-
another problem. Disney Star Wars is, read the books, read the comics to get a little further
but they
insight.
get like nothing.
It's
Because I would
just dumb.
love to see
People
more
are going to spend
from
money like
Poe.
that. Tell
But
me the
if-
story right there
What
and
was
then.
it? There was that one. What was that one that with the TV or something? There was something either one of the Disney Plus shows or one of the comics I read that they did mention, like they had Poe's parents.
Oh, yes.
but, like-
Isn't that like a Star Wars Resistance or something like that?
Yeah, and like that kind of stuff is great, but I mean, they really should have like all those other characters, like with Rose and with Finn and with all of them, they got nothing, and it was all like Ray. It was all Ray, and then Ben who dies, and just yeah. I don't know. It was disappointing.
So Gray
The whole
says,
thing's-
I can't argue with any of these points, but I still enjoyed Force Awakens more than any of the prequels. Alex says, too bad they didn't do the Thrawn trilogy instead of those weird Disney movies.
Well, they're kind of making up
They're
for
gonna
it in a
do
way
it
with The
now.
Mandalorian. They're
They're
actually
gonna
making up
have
for
him,
it with The
though.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
gotta do it
spoilers,
Him, though, right? They
spoilers.
already cast him
Let's go to
Yeah,
Evan.
they already cast Theron.
already. Like
They already cast Theron.
I'm excited.
Well, it's the
'cause
same guy.
I haven't read any of the
Somebody
books.
told me it
I
was
was listening
Benedict
to one of the
Cumberbatch.
I watched
What?
Rebels and
I was like,
everything,
no.
and I'm listening to the first audiobook in the Thrawn trilogy, and the audiobook is
I think it
really
was John.
good because
John
they have
thought it
like
was.
sound effects, music, voices, all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff, and it's just really it's well done.
Evan says 20 years hindsight makes the prequels much better than they were. You're not wrong. Jarrett says, I love how Mark Hamill unabashedly talks shit on the last 3 movies. Yes, he does.
Oh, yes, he does.
Popfly
does,
Pop
yeah.
Shop says, what's up, folks? What's up, Kevin?
What's up?
Alex says, yo, Popfly. And Maria says they probably should have gone into the new trilogy with a plan for the story before they started filming them willy-nilly.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then John says, what about the new Jedi Kids show on Disney? We all know what happens to the Jedi Kids, so
The
we
younglings,
now
the younglings,
know how
the
the
younglings.
cartoon
The
ends.
younglings.
Let's talk about that right
Spoiler
Although
alert.
they retconned that a little bit because it feels like some of the younglings make it out
Maybe.
alive.
Gerald says a lot of
Some of
characters in
them
the
escape.
original trilogy didn't get backstories until the books. He's not wrong. Alex says, I'll wait
Right.
to see if they screwed it up before giving Disney a chance on Thrawn.
Admiral
Yep,
Akbar.
that's fair.
What's with
And
that?
Evan says Saturday matinee permanently closed.
Oh no, that sucks.
Oh.
Oh. By the
Yeah,
way,
I would imagine that was closed. Yeah.
how do you do Admiral
You know what?
Akbar
You lose
dirty
Paul.
like that?
Well, let's
I
talk
love
about
Admiral
Solo.
Akbar.
Oh yeah, sorry, Solo.
How
Yeah.
about
before
that?
we get there,
Why?
I mean,
Why?
everybody blames
So
Kathleen Kennedy. Everybody blames Kathleen Kennedy, but
I
I
do.
would blame J.J. Abrams
I blame him
Because-
for a lot of stuff.
Oh, I blame him
but-
too.
because
Yeah.
he got so much heat after the first one being just a complete ripoff of New Hope
Right.
that he never came back for any of it.
Not
You know,
really.
I mean, yeah. So
And plus,
No,
he's
it-
famous for
yeah.
his weird plot device. I forgot what the term he uses. Where he leaves like a little thing there for you to figure out. Mystery box. That's what we call it. The mystery box.
he's a mystery
No.
idiot.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like, come on, man. You could have done so much better.
No.
Yeah. All right, we're on Solo.
Yeah, we're on
We're
Solo.
on Solo.
Solo,
A
you know what?
very
It's a pretty good movie.
enjoyable film
Pretty
for
good.
having somebody step in as a director to finish it.
Oh yeah, Ron Howard had to come in to finish it. That's
Yeah,
true.
Ron Howard saved the day, as far as I'm concerned. It's
I think the movie's
it's a,
good.
It's a light, fun film. You get to see how Han and Chewie met.
Yep.
That's a
I
great
wish there was more to
interaction.
that, actually. The way that they met, kind of deal.
Yeah.
I felt
Oh,
it
yeah.
was kind of the
Max.
rushed, and then all of a sudden they're like BFFs and stuff. And
I love Donald Glover.
I don't know. I felt there could have been a little bit more
Well,
development.
though, there's
to
one
their
problem I had
relationship.
with that, and I heard about this controversy, and I was like, yeah, that is kind of weird. What's this weird thing where like he's into droids, and then like that droid that was like his former first mate, she was a little too much for me. It's just like, yeah, rights for the droids.
Oh, you're talking about Lando's thing for
Yeah.
yeah, L3
his
or something
kink
like that. I'm just like,
droids.
And sexual.
yeah, I'm just like, what the heck is this all about? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, let's be realistic, Kevin. If there was sex bots, you would have bought 5 by now.
That's not true. I
Oh.
think I think you would have. I think you would have.
I would have bought you one for sure. That would
Yeah,
have been the first person
Donald,
to purchase
I
one
feel-
for.
Much.
Yeah, nobody cares,
More-
Sammy. Anyway, moving on.
But Lando's awesome though. I do like that.
Solo.
She's breaking up. We couldn't hear you.
I do like Glover's
The biggest
character,
Solo
especially when how he
is-
wins, how Han Solo wins the Millennium Falcon. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great.
That was
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, so
Yeah,
here,
no,
That was-
Donald Glover actually inhabited the spirit of.
no,
Yes.
I think he was great.
He did.
You
Yes.
know,
He was
Calrissian,
great as a young,
really.
a young Lando.
one of the
My
really
problem-
good parts of the movie.
The
for sure.
midichlorians part of Solo is ruining 12 parsecs because Han uses that line in Millennium Falcon. It's the ship that did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
Right.
They
Well,
kind of dumbed it down. They made it an accident. You know, I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, I didn't like that at all. I was like, 12 parsecs is cool.
That's true. They
Whatever.
didn't do that in Star Trek though.
That's true.
They didn't dumb down.
Hey Julio,
the-
did you ever watch that Saturday Night Live skit? It's a long time ago where they were doing. It was like auditions for Star Wars,
Yeah.
and so the cast was playing all these people
Alex
from
gets it.
Al Pacino to Christopher Walken to
Cheryl gets it.
kind of. But my favorite was the Christopher Walken one.
Oh, yeah.
And because with that line always reminds me of the Christopher Walken one, where he's all
Yeah.
like, "I did the Kessel Run."
He was one of the
Well,
Jedi who
parsecs.
survived the,
You guys keep
Old
making up
man.
shit.
No, this is true. It's a true character, man.
It is
L.A.
true.
Quinlan
Quinlan-
Voss.
Quinlan
Who the
Voss
fuck is
is this-
Quinlan Voss
You see,
now?
you see, you don't know your
Who
Oh,
characters
some
characters.
other generic
Where
looking
Kevin and
motherfucker.
Don
Look at this dude.
are in the same room.
I know.
Who came up with
I
this?
wonder if they should
Came up with
be.
what?
It's like it's.
With this whole Miami Vice thing you guys got going on. and-
Oh, what
Hey,
Don
it's,
Johnson?
It's Rocket and Tubbs or something. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
I got nothing. He's Tubbs.
That's fine.
Which
I don't care.
version, Julio? 80s version
Hey,
or the
Hey, here's
Jamie
your
Foxx?
here's your Quinlan Voss.
call for-
I think
They're
he's
both
sharding.
really good. I love Quinlan
There you
Voss.
go, Alex. That's your favorite charter right there.
Why are you
I
hating,
love
man,
him.
on some of
You
these
don't like
Jedi?
Quinlan
He was
Voss?
in Shark Wars.
Why are you hating on these Jedi, man? Why are you hating on these Jedi for?
Because they look like
That's
derps.
what Donald does, Kevin. He's a very cynical man.
Because
That's
I
true.
feel like somebody just picked some random Star Wars character that's never done anything, and they're like,
Sammy, what did you think? What did you think of the Kira character? I actually like the Kira character.
who?
What?
The Kira character in Solo.
I like Amelia
liked her.
Clark.
Oh, she was
Yeah.
in that. That's right. Yeah.
I like
yeah,
her,
that she is.
and
She's
I-
great in that.
really watch
Woody Harrelson's
Game
in
of
it, too.
Thrones except for a couple episodes, but I like her and I like seeing his first
Love.
girlfriend, I guess. But
Yeah.
I guess I was a little like set up to not like her because I already know about Leia, so I'm kind of like, who is
But-
this bitch?
but
Give me comics to read, Alex, and I'll read them.
But
Like, tell
what's
me
cool
which
is you
ones.
learn more
But,
about
like,
her, and you know.
no, and Kira's she's a very tough character. She's very like strong, and also she does what it takes to survive, which like working
Well,
for
and
Dragon
they set it up
and then
in
also
a solo
taking over the
sequel.
Crimson Dawn.
Right, that's what I was about to say. It's like
Okay.
that could have been way further evolved in a solo sequel.
So the coolest
sure.
part
No,
about
exactly.
Solo
They definitely need it. They definitely need a solo sequel.
is Darth Maul with the spider legs. We see it at the end.
Yeah,
That's the coolest
I
part
wish
of
we
the
saw
whole
more.
thing.
I wish we saw more. I wish
That's
we
the
saw
metal
more.
legs.
That's the coolest part.
It's after the whole spider thing.
We didn't see his legs though, did we?
I thought we
just
saw
He
he
had
had
metal,
metal
he had
legs,
robot,
spider legs.
like RoboCop legs.
Was it
Yeah,
Robot
Robot
legs?
legs,
Yeah,
right.
so it was like metal legs, which is really
I remember
cool.
that.
No,
That was
not the spider. The spider was amazing.
Yeah, I did like the spider legs.
That's
All
All right,
amazing.
so that's Solo.
That's Solo.
Now we're gonna move on from Solo, everybody.
Number
Okay.
5.
We're going to 5. We're just over halfway done with this list.
Hey,
Come
man,
on,
it's
John.
passionate, man.
Solo should have
Passionate.
been 5.
Revenge of the
Stop.
Sith, everybody.
Yes, the best prequel. Now, of course, one of the stupid parts and funny parts of it is, of course, is my man Count Dooku's somersault before he went to fight Anakin and Obi-Wan.
I don't
But you
have
get
a
to
problem.
see the full manipulation of Palpatine come to fruition, the full master plan come into action.
Yeah,
Yep.
which was pretty great. Like there was, I feel like they got a lot of flack for it being because it was a lot of political drama.
But it
You
made
know?
sense in this one.
Well,
in,
it was.
in the movie.
made
But
sense
that's
in this
what
one.
was happening.
Yeah, but this one, it made sense and it all came around.
And of course the climactic battle on Mustafar,
Yeah.
Yes.
which by the way,
The Mustafarians.
does anybody else think it's
Yeah, man.
weird that
Mustafarian, man.
Darth Vader's castle, he put his castle on Mustafar?
No,
Place
No, it
where
makes
he got
sense. It
completely
makes
messed
sense.
up.
It makes sense.
That's
It
a
makes sense.
checkmate move. That's a checkmate move
Yep.
by Palpatine to always let him know he was in charge.
Yep.
I guess.
Yep.
I kind of always thought that was a little weird. It's like, you want to walk out your door every day and relive the
No, because think
worst
about
day
it.
of your life?
No, Monty,
Bob,
Monty, that's the whole point.
That's
The anger fuels the dark side, makes it
Yes.
more powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes
He
perfect
wanted
sense.
The anger and
Makes
the dark
perfect sense.
emotions. Yeah, like that's
Yeah, it's like
how
every
he became
morning
Vader,
I wait for
and
Kevin
Vader
to
is
step outside
stronger,
and I slap him in the
Anakin's
mouth.
dead.
I don't think so. Also, by the
Well,
way,
no, it's-
the Rise of
it's 'cause-
Skywalker took place on Mustafar at the very beginning when Kylo went to get that device, but yet they never said anything about it. That was actually Mustafar.
The Wayfinder.
Yeah, the Wayfinder. That was Mustafar at the beginning of the movie.
What's it called? The Wayfinder?
Yeah, some stupid.
That's
the,
a dumbass
the Sith.
name.
Yeah, the Sith Wayfinder. The Sith
Yeah,
Wayfinder.
they took that they took that too far.
yeah,
Yeah.
so dumb.
Boy, they're
Yeah.
stretching that story. Alex
yeah.
says he will. Okay, so he's going to tell me. They
Well, Joe
should make
Grievous.
a what if story where Anakin kills Obi-Wan.
You know what? That'd be a
Pretty
good
sure that
idea.
happened.
I'm sure it has happened. That would be cool.
No,
They
he did
should.
kill Obi-Wan.
They did that with Marvel. Why not do
Well,
He
it?
does.
later on.
That'd be
Later
kinda
on.
cool.
Yeah,
Killed
kind of like how
Later
they
on.
built
Yeah.
Alex,
worlds
what are you
and-
talking about? He killed
Later,
him. He
later
kills
on.
him. He
Later
runs
on.
him.
You mean later on?
You talking about a young Anakin?
Yes.
Kills
A
a.
younger Obi-Wan.
He's like, don't tell me what to do, not my dad, and stabs him through.
So in other words, when he told him, "I have the high ground," and let's say for some reason he actually hit the spot and actually did get Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan
instead.
never liked Anakin, did he?
He did.
Really?
He loved him.
No,
He
not
loved
really.
him.
He just
It was
took
his
him
brother.
on.
No, Mace Windu didn't like Anakin.
He took
Mace
him
Windu didn't
on
like him.
because of
But-
his master
but-
told him
He
to.
didn't. It's
But
not that he
Anakin-
didn't like him. He
Well,
didn't
yeah,
trust him.
Donald.
Right.
He had these feelings, these like strong feelings, because his master died after he had like taken on saving this kid. But it's like he grew to be close to Anakin. He was the one who ended up training him because Qui-Gon died. So it was
That's
like
right.
they were close.
I always felt like they had a very close relationship.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
big
Anakin
brother.
That's
referred
why
to
the
him as his
betrayal
father.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Anakin's mind is so absolute.
It's his big brother.
And that's why he says like, you were like my brother. You were my brother.
And also,
you know,
that's the tragedy of Qui-Gon's
Sure.
death in Phantom Menace, because had Qui-Gon lived, he would have trained Anakin, and he would never turn to the dark side of Force. He would have actually kept him away from Palpatine.
No.
Yes, he
No.
would. He would have kept him away.
No.
He would have made sure he did not hang out with
Julio!
Palpatine. He would have made sure he did not hang out with
Who would have
Palpatine.
done that?
No.
Qui-Gon.
No.
Had Qui-Gon
That's not
lived,
how
he
it
would have
works.
prevented Anakin from hanging out. You know how Palpatine became close to Anakin? That would have never happened if Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon
was
was
He
still
was
there.
the balance of the Force. That means he was always going to turn.
Yes.
You're just going to delay it by a week or two. That's all you were going to do.
Maybe so. I mean, you're right, Julio. I mean, Anakin's ultimate purpose was to destroy the Jedi and the Sith to balance the Force. So, yes, there's truth to that. There's some truth to that.
Yet we're still getting movies.
Of course. Because you know what? We had to invalidate the Return of the Jedi with the Rise of Skywalker. We had to bring Palpatine back somehow,
I have an
who
idea.
blew up in a Death
I have an
Star.
idea. Star
A
Trek
Watto
Wars.
movie.
no, we
a
don't
Watto
need to hear
movie.
Star Trek Wars.
We don't need. Oh, no.
What do you think?
That could work.
Yeah. A
Well,
what
no,
if
and
scenario.
then we're getting.
Right, Alex?
Now they've said we're getting more Star Wars movies with Rey. We're getting another movie with Rey coming up.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
like-
That's what I said in the future. I heard about that.
And then more even
Grogu
after
and
that,
Rey.
the producers said they want to do like the James Bond sort of thing of they want a new Star Wars movie out every 2 to 3 years.
That's not. I mean, the problem is that it's either put out the TV shows the way they're putting them out, and not any Star Wars movies, or I just don't want both. You know what I mean? I don't want a ton of Star Wars TV and movies. I want one or the other.
It's the Marvel problem. It's the same Marvel
Yeah,
problem. It's
no,
too much. It's too
no,
much
it's
going
not.
on.
Well, and
I-
the thing
I
is
think
with
the Marvel
the
problem-
Rey Skywalker movie that's going to be coming out.
Ray Palpatine. Ray Palpatine.
Technically, Ray Palpatine, Ray Smith.
Yeah, Ray Smith.
They said that they were because technically she's a Skywalker now.
Oh, yeah.
They swore up and down that after that quote unquote point is they swore up and down that after Rise of Skywalker that they were finally moving on from the whole Skywalker.
Why didn't we ever get that story where Luke was evil?
Dark Empire.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't we? That would have been awesome.
Perhaps.
Sammy dropped out, so I'm leaning this way because the camera. There's only 3 of us on right now.
If you left, you pissed her off, man.
Yeah, it happens. You know,
That's
shit happens.
Technical difficulty.
Alex says Mace Windu is a hater.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, there she is. Okay, now I can lean back this way.
He
Sorry.
was. No problem. Yeah,
okay.
Mace Windu was a hater because he suspected something was wrong with Anakin. He just couldn't put a finger on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was number 5. Was Revenge of the Sith.
He was smart.
Okay, here's a surprise for number 4. You ready?
Ready?
Oh no.
The first one.
I'm not gonna like this, am I? I'm not gonna
Number
like
4
this, am
is
I?
the first one. Number 4, A New Hope. Star Wars: A New Hope.
How dare
It's
you?
the number 4 on the list. I'm sorry.
Where is Rogue One? How did you decide this? Come on.
I would have put them at number 3.
New
would've
Hope
put New Hope.
number 3 for Sammy. A New Hope number 4 for Chris. A New Hope
No,
number 4 for
oh,
Kevin. A New Hope number
no.
4 for Donald. A New Hope number 3 for Julio. And Monty, I believe you rated it number 12. Which
Wow.
makes sense.
Monty, how dare you?
Kevin!
Monty, what's
There
wrong
was-
No,
with
I
you?
rated it
Kevin!
number 1.
Because there wasn't 12,
Yeah, Kevin.
12 films.
I rated it number
What the
1.
heck?
Kevin, check my text that I sent you with my list.
All right, I'll
There's
double
not even
check.
12 films, but he
Kevin.
put it on number
He actually
12.
put it at 1 and 2. That's why you got the 12.
Oh, that's probably okay. That's probably why.
You
But
know,
legitimately-
Kevin,
We're not
I
even
am
discussing
It is-
12
I am
Star Wars
disappointed.
movies.
It is at the point. It is. It's at number 4. Number 4 is A New Hope.
No,
Sorry,
no,
Gray saying no, no, no. Sorry,
no.
dude. I get it. It started it all. I get it.
How did
I
you
get
rate,
it.
That's the only reason it
you
should
rate
be number
Rogue
3.
One over A New Hope. How?
No. The best
Donald?
Star Wars movies are Empire and Rogue One.
What?
They're perfect.
Julio.
Wow.
Yeah,
Julio.
they're the best ones. Yeah.
I will agree with half that
It's
statement.
number 3 just because it started everything.
Yeah.
No, Donald, you planned this. You
Mm-mm.
were some kind of evil.
Donald is a Sith Lord. You do know that, right, Sammy?
I didn't plan this. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're
I'm
the
a Star
one-
Trek guy.
Donald-
What do I care about Star
Donald-
Wars?
You're the one who gave me grief when I
No, I
rated
like Star Wars too,
Empire and A New
When are we
Hope
ranking the
above
Star
Rogue
Trek
One.
movies?
We
We
did that
already
back.
did.
We already did, man.
You weren't here
Oh,
for that.
man, I missed
Favoritism.
out on that.
This is favoritism.
There is no favoritism.
Oh.
A New Hope is number 4 on our list, and let's see why that is, okay? Because there wasn't a 1, 2, and 3. So we jump halfway through a story, and we're in, and we're like, what's
Can
going
someone
on? I don't
chat that?
understand what is
That's
this story.
That's why I
Like,
picked it.
why is this happening right now? So there's that.
We'll fight Donald.
Like what the hell? It's like, what the hell are these weird creatures? These
Right.
aliens?
Yeah.
It's like, what is this?
We have no idea.
I don't know.
What's a
we
Death
had
Star?
seen 1, 2, and 3.
What's
would
a
have known.
moisture
What's a
farmer?
Death Star?
Right. Yeah, we would have known all that. So it's like, I'm sorry, Sam.
I don't care.
That's a
I
womp
don't
rat.
care. Okay.
Yeah, we get Luke Skywalker at his whiniest in the first one.
Oh, he's young, man. He's
Uncle,
like
why can't I
50
join the
years old.
academy?
Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen.
He's grown up on friggin'
Uncle
Tatooine.
Owen.
Well, I'm gonna get off this
I gotta
farm.
go get power converters.
Uncle
He has no
Owen.
idea what's going on. He's a freaking whiny teenager who has no idea what's going on in the
He's
world.
a
Of course.
kid, man.
Number 4 on the list.
He was like 20.
That is no.
Was he
no.
20?
Yeah, he's like 20,
He's
20 years
20
old.
in A New Hope.
Yeah.
No, I think. Well, his character was
young.
20. I always thought he was a lot younger.
No, no.
No, the
he's-
character is
young,
20 years old.
Yeah, him and Leia
Yeah,
are like
see,
19,
but he
20 years
acts
old.
like he's like 13.
No,
Ooh.
but Donald, he is young. All he's known is living on Tatooine with his aunt and uncle. He doesn't know anything about who his dad was. So,
Yeah.
Or his mom.
yeah, exactly. So,
Or that he has a sister.
Or he has a sister.
Okay, well,
Well,
he
Sammy,
has his
you've
big
only
Star
ever known
Fighter
planet
left.
Earth. Does that mean you get to be a whiny bitch?
Ooh.
Oh, but he did
Oh.
enjoy sunsets.
Point making. Look, she's so shocked. Her mouth's like permanently like. Sammy, if I'm
Oh,
right,
wow.
just hold still.
Kevin laughed. Maria.
Wait, this is how she's saying Maria.
Come on.
Maria.
Maria, back me up.
Maria.
No, Sammy, you make some good arguments. You make some good arguments, no doubt about it. You're making some good
No,
arguments.
I'm gonna hang up on you. I swear.
Wow, you froze. I don't know what to tell you. I can hear you.
You're so mean.
We can hear you.
You're so mean.
Yeah, stop
You're so
pointing your
mean.
finger at me, though. Oh, okay, good. See, she listened. There we go. Oh, wait, there's something going on here. Are you on your iPad, by the way? That prestigious iPad that you talked about?
Yes,
Yeah, no, okay.
Donald.
The one I said maybe
am
don't
on my
use.
iPad 'cause My laptop
Wow.
is not working.
Her laptop's not working, so she has to use her iPad.
Buy a new one.
Well, you know, those don't come cheap,
She's
man.
got a Kyber crystal she can barter with.
No, they don't come cheap. You know that. They don't come cheap.
Donald.
Well, it depends on where you are.
She
Where?
probably has some best car that she can, sell.
I do, but I'm still tempted to hang up on you.
Ah, you would too, wouldn't you? So New Hope is number
I
4.
would.
Okay, so let's hear some comments here.
The Death Star.
Sean says A New Hope should be number 1 for sentimental reasons. That's the worst reason that you name something number 1 is for
Thank
sentimentality.
you, Sean.
No,
Thank you, Sean.
no,
Thank
you don't. You don't do that. Rogue
Yeah.
One is actually the best Star Wars film, though. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I
Alex
support
says this
that.
is the most upset I've ever seen Sammy on the show. I think.
That.
Grace says, is anyone here old
That's
enough
not-
to have seen it in the theater when it came out?
Unfortunately, I was not. You were not. Nobody was.
Alex says I got to crash. Night, everyone, and I'm
I was.
sending you comics, Tom. Thanks,
No.
Alex.
Julio,
I-
you're the only person here who was around when the first one came out.
Yeah, no, my I went with my whole family. I sat on my grandma's lap and watched it, and I complained the whole entire time about how loud it was.
Yeah.
It's like 4 or 5.
And that was when like Dolby Sound was coming out at the time, I believe.
So at the Chinese.
You saw it at
Oh.
the Chinese theater? Oh,
I
nice.
saw the Chinese. Saw it at
By the way,
Chinese.
how long online did you have to
You
wait
saw it
to
at
get into the
it was
theater?
a
I don't
Chinese
remember any of
restaurant.
that stuff. I just
Never playing it on the TV.
I have a few memories, and then what I was told and what I was doing in the theater. I would never take a 4 or 5-year-old to a movie. We did it once, and that was like we learned our lesson.
Yeah. yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck my parents were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? What was it? It was horror films. A lot of parents like to bring their kids.
Yeah,
to
that's
horror films
strange.
over
That
our
happened
place.
Yeah,
to
why would
me.
they do that?
And it was primarily
The first
I hate to
Conjuring
say it,
movie-
but it was primarily the Latin community.
Yeah, like Saw 3. Yeah, they'll bring
Yeah.
like Saw 3. Or,
And
the little
we were
3-year-old
like,
for Saw
we were
3.
like, you sure you want to bring your kid?
The first
And they were like,
Conjuring,
"Eh,
the
whatever.
the first Conjuring, this family came in, this massive family, these two parents, and they had like what seemed like a dozen kids
Mhm.
to come see The Conjuring,
Yeah,
Nice.
and they were loud as hell, and just I was like, you got to be kidding me.
yeah.
No, my
Yeah.
mom took me to see Evil Dead.
The first
It
one?
was like it was
See?
telling
The
my
first one?
dad.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, the first one. It was telling my dad,
Wow.
like, "Oh, we're gonna go see a movie. Don't tell your father." But we were like, she saw the trailer and was losing her mind. So that's why I saw the Evil Dead movie with.
Wow.
Wow. That's something else.
Did
That's
you also-
Have
actually
you
a
seen
nice
the new
story.
one, Julio?
I heard it's bad.
Have you seen the new one?
And did you take your mother to see
I
it?
have not. I have not seen the new one. I'm now
I
that
haven't
I
either.
have kids, I get to watch everything on Peacock.
There you go.
I get to watch everything on streaming.
Just Peacock, nothing else. All right.
No, just Peacock.
Let's see. Sean says New Hope was Mark's second film. He did voice work for Ralph Baskey's Wizards before that. Bakishi's?
Wait. Okay, Mark Hamill's second movie was Star Wars. So what was the one with Lee Marvin, the red one, or whatever it's called?
The Corvette Summer.
Yeah, I thought Corvette Summer
He
was
had done
first.
a movie
Oh.
with Lee Marvin. Was that before Star Wars?
That
I thought it
don't know.
was.
I don't know.
Corvette Summer was the before Star
78 or
Wars.
79 for Corvette Summer.
Yeah, Corvette Summer was a
Yeah.
definitely
Oh, was
a
it?
favorite of mine when I was a kid.
Yeah. Black Crown Ep says I'd put New Hope or Black Crow Crown. Black Crown. I'd put New Hope above Jedi, but am totally okay with it at
Yeah.
number 4.
Black
Okay,
Crow
that's
Nep.
good. That's fine. See, we got okay people here.
No, okay.
Number 3. This is gonna make a lot of people mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It's going to make a lot of people mad.
Rogue
Yeah.
One, number 3.
Rogue One.
Oh!
What?
Just the way it
Who
is.
came up with Rogue One at number 3?
Not me.
It's like
I had it very
ridiculous.
high on my list.
Wasn't me.
Okay.
I
Who was
had it
voting?
not me either.
I
Who
had
was
it at number
voting?
3.
Who was voting that put it at number 3?
I called you on Donald.
Well, I put it at number 3
And you were just
directly.
like,
Let's
"Oh,
see
it's a
what
better
Kevin
film."
put it at.
Right.
Kevin put it at 5.
That's fine.
That's not
Oh.
fine.
Not
That's
3.
worse than me.
Kevin, dude, I will never ask you for your opinion on a movie ever again. You just off the
See?
list.
Wait, where'd you have it, Julio? Where'd you have
Number
it?
Dang.
1.
I had it at 1. At number
What?
1.
He loves that film.
Rogue at
And
1.
Not
you're
for
bragging
nothing,
that you put it at
nothing.
5.
It is
Yes,
a very
I am.
good movie.
It
And
should
the
not
fact
be at
that
5.
they-
Of all
The
the
fact
Star
that
Wars
they could
movies,
take a
the most
throwaway
well
line
done
from A
movie.
New Hope and make it into a full feature-length
But
movie
no.
and a
But
decent one at that.
I mean, and we're
Pretty-
getting the
Like-
best Star Wars TV
No.
from this Rogue One
What,
spinoff.
Andor?
Andor,
No.
yeah.
It totally is.
No, it
Andor-
was not the best. Andor was good. It was not the best.
Good.
I don't
But
know.
I think
man.
next season is only what, like weeks from the actual Death Star, New Hope. It's only just like a short period of
It
time.
was good,
We're
not
getting- yeah.
the best. And honestly, I get that story had to be told from Rogue One, and I'm glad they made it. But I have not rewatched that movie since I first saw it.
Okay, stop.
I hate not
Mom's
knowing.
going to
I
bed.
hate
Oh,
Mom's
what
going to
happens
bed.
to a
Everybody say
character.
good night. Good night,
Have
Mom
a good
and
night,
Dad.
Miss McKinney. Rest
Good night,
nicely.
Mrs.
Get some
Night,
good
Mom,
sleep.
Dad.
Get some good sleep. Enjoy your
Get
evening
sweet
of
dreams.
rest.
They can't believe that you just put Rogue One where you put it.
That's my mom's like,
They're
I'm out.
Fuck Donald.
They're not
I'm
even
going to
trying.
bed.
They're just like,
They
"Hey, we're
can't
out."
believe
you.
Rogue One is in the top 5.
Wow, Black Crown says Andor was trash. Ooh, that's a harsh statement. I bet you didn't watch it all either, did you?
And that's not
No,
told
they
you.
didn't watch
I'm gonna
it.
put money
and
on
It was
that.
a great show.
Didn't watch
It's
it
one
all.
of those
Great
people
show.
that needs a lightsaber in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
No, it was a great show. It was a really good show, and I loved it. But like,
It's a
that,
slow burn.
It's
yeah,
definitely.
but it was
So here's
good.
Black Crown. Here's what I was told, and it worked perfectly. It's a 3-episode payoff. So you have to watch episode 1, 2, and then 3
That's
is
what I call it
amazing.
on ABC. I'd rather do
And then
something
4,
like
5, and episode 6 was amazing. 7, 8, and then episode 9 was amazing. That it's a 3-episode payoff. So you
Yeah.
have to watch it in that order, like 1, 2, 3.
I even
I
though
don't
they
like
weren't
knowing
all-
what the character's ultimate fate is, kind of thing. That's why it's
that
kind of hard
part
to.
did kind of suck, but it
I
was
could get
cool
that.
You
to
like
see
the
how
Titanic
he's
movie?
point taken. But like, you know, the story of all those people stealing the plans for the Death Star, it should have been told, and I'm glad it was. But it just
in that last, 12-second fight scene or whatever, a 30-second fight scene with Vader.
That was
Holy
awesome.
shit.
I just
That's what I was
It
telling you about. Like, I remember being in the theater, man. The audience went freaking nuts.
Yeah.
it was
And
never a
it's
movie
because
I was
it-
really excited for, though.
What was the first?
That's
The
all.
first film that came out was The Force Awakens, right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
then they followed it up with Rogue One. So they were
Yeah.
Rogue One, and everybody went, "Oh my god!" So
in
then,
anticipation
what
for the
came
Last
next?
Jedi. Last Jedi. And in anticipation for it
And
was
it
so...
shit the bed hard, right?
And it hurt
then-
Solo. It hurt
and
the
it
Solo
fucked
movie.
Solo
Yep,
so hard.
Yep.
And then, so then they're like, well, we're done with going back in time. And they stopped doing that. And that was the
Which is
biggest
sad
mistake they
because
ever
I
could have
don't think
made.
They should be. I don't
Well,
think they should
actually,
be, but I just
They're going to go back in time again. They're going to do like the Dawn of the Jedi and the Knights of the Old Republic. They're going to go back there.
Well, now
But
they
that's
have to because they realize they made a
honestly,
big fucking mistake.
Well, that's
I
true.
want them to. That's going to be really cool. I want to see all those people. Like I remember when the Knights of the Old Republic game was out, and my dad was playing that game on our PC, and like, you know, with Kyle Katarn and all of that. Like that's cool. I want to see that. I want to see it actually live action played out. And Rogue One was not my favorite. It wasn't a bad movie. It just was not one that I was really excited for. I was glad they told the story it needed to be told, but not my favorite.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, also when I saw it at the ArcLight in Hollywood, and
Oh.
partway
yeah.
through
You
the
would.
movie.
Hippie.
Donald. I saw it with my ex. Okay,
Hippie, too.
but yeah. So like
Actually,
partway
no.
through the movie,
Hippie's a bad name.
someone set off a fire
Douche, might
alarm,
like it.
and so we had to evacuate the
not
whole
a shock.
theater.
That is not a shock. That fire alarm was set to just go off every
And
like
we had
4
to
weeks.
We had to stand outside the building for
Right.
a while.
Yeah.
And we went back in and we finished the movie, but I didn't care. I was like, okay.
Did you guys watch it in the Dome? Cinerama Dome?
Not in
Or
the
just
dome.
when-
Not in the dome. Just
Hmm.
in the theater. But it was. I mean, I just knowing what was going to happen, kind of knowing it, you still wanted to see the story, but knowing what was going to happen to all those people, like
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
That was
It-
And the characters become very likable. They are very likable characters.
they are.
And so, yeah, you feel kind of bad, like you said, Sammy, knowing what
You know
what
the
fate.
fate is.
Also,
Yeah.
Director
Yeah.
Krennic. I actually like the Director
I
Krennic
cared
character.
about all those
Mhm.
characters, and I did not care about anyone in the last Jedi movies at the Skywalker guys. I didn't care. Rogue One, I cared about all the characters.
Well, and then like at the end,
Including the robot,
Rogue
including the
One,
droid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of
And also
at the
Donnie
end
Yen's
of
character
Rogue
was cool
One-
too.
Yes.
Oh,
he's
Oh,
Yeah.
Donnie Yen's
fantastic.
always.
Fantastic.
Donnie
Yeah.
Yen
Oh, by the
always
way,
aces
Donnie Yen is
everything
great
he
in
does.
John Wick 4. I must
You
say.
watched that without me?
You watched Guardians of the
I have
Galaxy
not.
Volume 3 without me, so
Oh, Jesus
I was
Christ.
in
You guys
Ohio.
should break up. You guys should break up.
No, I already saw John Wick. It's fine. It's fine.
Mom and Dad are fighting.
Sean says Star Wars came out in 1977, Corvette Summer 1978. Yeah.
And the
Big
Red
Red
one,
one in 1980.
1980.
So Star Wars
Okay.
is Mark's first
Huh?
live action film role, but he did voice work in the animated film Wizards
Plus,
before that.
was he on 8 is enough?
Ultraman Magnus. It was good seeing you last week, by the way, buddy. Says Empire Strikes Back is my favorite one. The worst one, it's the last one with Rey. Yeah, so
No.
okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. We're not mad at that.
All right.
So we're
What's
gonna go with
three?
number 2.
No one's mad at that.
two,
no one's
two,
mad
two.
at that.
Number 2. We got a little return here. That's Return of the Jedi.
Yay!
number 2.
Woo!
You can't really get too mad at Return of the Jedi
'Cause you
making
like
number
Ewoks,
2.
that's why. You like Ewoks so
Well,
much.
I just look. I liked the whole thing
Ewok.
with Jabba the Hutt,
Wait.
Yeah.
with Solo getting thawed and all
Oh,
that.
the furries. Oh,
Oh,
wow. yeah.
Ichigo.
My wife thinks the same sound.
What I want to know is if I was Han
Julio.
Solo,
Well, if you
because
squeeze her, probably yeah.
didn't the time jump from Empire to Return of the Jedi also echo the time between movies, which is like 3 years, right, between movies?
Yeah.
And I think I read somewhere so that it took them 3 years to figure out a plan to get Han Solo escaped from the
I mean,
carbonite.
it can't have been easy though. Trying to find out
Well,
where he'd been taken.
It's
and
not
see,
just.
like-
It's not just from the carbonite. It's people were going after Boba Fett because the money that you can get from that from Han.
You followed the
From the
money.
bounty, yeah.
They followed the
Storyline.
money.
Yeah.
Followed the money.
Yeah, it took
Well, I
Boba
mean, it's
Fett
not
a
like they
long
had to
period of
find him,
time
though,
to
Sam,
deliver the
because
body.
they knew that he was being taken to Jabba
But
the
to work
Hutt.
out a plan, like
Yeah.
they're the.
They
there's
did,
the
but it
comic
took them a
series
while to
where
get there. It took them a
They
while to
work
get
out. Yeah, in the comics, they work like there's the whole thing where it takes them a while to get there,
Mhm.
and there are all these things they're doing in the meantime, and just.
Well, I
it's
guess
not-
it's. I mean, it's okay. Han was like, basically, frozen or whatever, carbonite, frozen or whatever.
Mhm.
So
He was
he's probably
freezing.
like, oh, it's been 3 years. I don't give a shit because I don't remember the last 3 years.
He looks
Yeah.
pretty good for being frozen in
Yeah,
carbonate.
exactly.
Like, you know. But I loved it though. I mean, I just because at the end of Empire, it's like Han and Leia just told each other they loved each other, and then
No,
you know,
that's not true.
He said,
He
"I know."
said, I know.
I know.
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
his way of saying I love you. It's Han.
That's what Sammy
Solo's
thinks.
Actually-
equivalent of
That's
Leia
what she
being
spent the
like, I
whole
love
rest
you
of her
too.
life
Actually, I remind you,
banking on.
the Solo story had a similar thing when Lando said to him, "You know what? I hate you." He's like, "I know." That was
I
kind of
know.
a
Yeah.
fun little thing there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Little
That's
Easter
like
egg.
It was.
saying,
That
I
was
love you.
fantastic.
Out
Such a
of
good
the original
show.
of the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi is my favorite. But when I put it on the list, I looked at it as a great film or a good film, well-made film, story-wise and everything. And Empire is superior to Jedi
Mm-hmm.
in that front. But
Yeah.
Jedi is the most fun, most adventure. You know all the characters. You're rooting for them the whole
And
entire
Admiral
time.
Akbar, you get to meet Admiral
Yeah.
Akbar.
Look, I get
It's
it,
a trap.
but I had
It's
to
a
go.
trap.
I had to go with my gut and how I feel when I'm watching them. Empire Strikes Back always made my cheeks clench a little bit. Like there
As
was
it should.
Yeah, as it
Yeah.
should, right? But Return
Okay.
of the Jedi was like a warm,
fun.
fuzzy blanket on a
It's-
cool
It
autumn
was fun.
evening.
Just
It's
admit
like
it.
happy.
You love those fucking Ewoks.
Oh, I did. Oh, I was all in, dude. And then the two
They were your
Ewok
favorite.
movies, I love those too. I watch the shit out of them. Are you kidding
I
me?
love
Battle
the
for
original
Endor.
Ewok music at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Oh yes, I'm about to say that. The
Never
Nub
should've gotten
Nub
rid of
song.
that.
They
Yeah.
should have never replaced that.
No.
Da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da. I was so upset when they got rid of that.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Yep. Nub. Yep.
Great song.
Okay, so guess we know what number one is then.
Yes.
If you go to Disneyland though and you go to Galaxy's Edge and the cantina,
They play it.
don't order the Yub Nub. Do not order
I
the
did
Yub Nub.
order it.
What's in it?
It's that foam, right?
No, that's the Tauntaun fizz, whatever that it numbs your lips.
on
but
jizz? Did she say tauntaun?
fizz, Julio, my lord.
Wow.
No,
Poor bartender. I jerked you a drink.
Julio. But the Yub Nub is like it's one of their cocktails, and it comes in one of those the collector
pork?
cups you can buy. But it's got some kind of seeds in it that have like a
Oh,
pulp
the
around
dragon
them.
fruit seeds or something.
And
like
you
that.
drink it, and you can't drink the drink without getting the seeds. And I couldn't finish it. I was like, just give me the cup. I don't want the drink. Just
All right, before we go Empire, one of the things that